Kitty, 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 come, kitty! Here, kitty, 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 come, kitty, come, kitty, come, kitty, here, kitty, come, kitty, come, kitty, come, kitty!
Oh, fuck me! And I'm laggy. This is great. We're off to a great fucking start. All right, Vox is going in with the raid. We'll hang out for a minute while we get that going. He's gonna go to the bathroom. We're gonna figure shit out. I don't know why my cam's lagging so bad. Yo, Winged Vox going in with the follow, buddy. Thank you so much. What is happening with my cam right now? We knew this was gonna be scuffed. I didn't know how scuffed it was gonna be. Gonna be scuffed. All right, I think we're good. So we're gonna go clouded only. Holy shit, wildcard Dougie going in.
Hail to the king, baby.
Tier 1 subs. What is up? Oh man, we got some follows going on. We got some gifted subs going on.
Hail to the king, baby.
What is up? Old Sparrow going in with a follow. Thank you so much for your support, buddy. Yeah, so this is the first iteration of the
Hail to the king, baby.
Yo, welcome on in. K-Vol, Little Marman, Sir Chad Gaming, Luis X Gonzalez,
Hail to the king, baby.
7 getting the gifted subs. I'd see, it's all on my chin. I don't know what to do with all this gifted sub shit now. But yeah, so welcome.
Hail to the king, baby.
We're gonna turn that down a little bit because I'm sure that's loud as fuck. I'm probably right there. We'll leave that there for now. I hope you guys didn't blow out your eardrums, man. So yeah, this is the first iteration. I had to build an entire new scene collection. I had to do all that, so bear with me because everything's scuffed, I'm sure. But yeah, this is the first episode of Vox and I's talk show. And it's going to be called The Voices in Your Head because people seem to talk about our voices a lot. I think his voice is better than mine. He thinks mine is better than his. And that's just the way that it goes. So this is going to be The Voices in Your Head talk show because I don't want to fucking call it a podcast because there's 3 million fucking podcasts. It's not gonna be a podcast. We're just gonna bullshit about stuff. Kinda whatever. It's gonna be like he said the other night, like the Seinfeld of talk shows, I guess. It's gonna be whatever we feel like talking about. Whatever you guys might want us to talk about. We're gonna have you guys live in chat the entire time. So hopefully that works out. I don't know, man. This is my first go at it. All right, Vox is calling us now, so we're gonna bring him in. Hopefully his audio's not fucked. Vox.
There he is.
Oh shit, there he is. Oh, brother.
There he is.
Brother, how was your stream, man?
Good, man. We had a lot of fun. We made some progress in Splinter Cell Double H, and it was good times.
Well, that's good times. That's good. Sally was blowing your cover, I saw there for a minute.
Oh yeah, dude. That's how she rolls.
Vox sounds too quiet. All right, let's raise him up a little bit. See, I split his shit out. We're being professional in this joint.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's see here. Can we raise him more?
Bring it on up.
I got a limiter on. Man, we're fucking pros now. I'm a pro, bro.
Hell
fucking
yeah.
bring up a whole scene collection in a day. Come at me sideways, son.
Dude, I know. I was telling them about it when you were sending me stuff. I'm like, he's over here, like, making all the scenes, putting all this shit together. Like, he's doing all of this shit. It's incredible.
How's that
And
sound
they
now,
look
guys?
great, too.
Well, appreciate it, buddy. This is the small piece of pea brain that I have that has any creativity whatsoever. So I figured the reason, like with the voices in your head thing, I figured we'd go red and blue because we'll be like the little devils on people's shoulders. I figured we're both the devil. But you got to have that balance, that yin and yang, I suppose, is what you would consider it. Yeah, the singular creative brain cell. Oh, we're getting famous too, Vox. Good news.
I've been famous.
I've been here. I've been known, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my house.
You know, my fame paid for this house, bitch.
Yeah. I'm not living in squalor over here. You see that? Well, actually, you kind of are living in squalor. So, since Vox is the camless wonder, we have his little animated him as Sam Fisher over here. But if we go ahead and hide that real quick, I put him in a fucking nuclear wasteland for now. He's still too quiet. All right, let me pull him up.
Uh-oh. You got me turned down in Discord, or is it just...
No, you're all the way up in Discord.
Banana. Oh.
Let me pull you up in OBS. We'll just peek you out. Hopefully that doesn't blow people's eardrums too.
They're not ready for it.
Or my eardrums, one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other.
So I'm hoping that that works out well. See, I knew this was going to be a thing that was going to be a struggle, was the audio. We can't be the voices in your head when one of the voices isn't much of a voice.
That's true. That's very true.
Alright, I'm just gonna fucking peg you the whole way. But both in our love life and on OBS.
Sounds good.
Out here giving all the peggings. So yeah, so what my hope is we're just gonna put Vox in a different location every week, and hopefully that works out. So he's gonna be traveling around the world without ever leaving his house. That's the plan for now.
It's beautiful.
Alright guys, let me know if his voice is still too low and I will do some tinkering. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll do something.
It'll be fantastic.
So yeah, so I figured we'd start this for anybody that doesn't know, myself or Vox. If you're around the channel, typically I'm sure that you probably do know. But yeah.
Wow, thanks. I mean, you're not wrong, but thanks.
There's got to be. I split it out. I thought I was being big brain. Here I'm being dumb brain.
No, that was a good idea.
Let's see here. Scuffed as we said it would be.
We have to. It's how we roll.
Yeah, dude. If it worked flawlessly, it would be very obvious that this wasn't something we were putting on ourselves.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Coming to you live from where the hell am I? That's all it'll be.
Desolate wasteland, hell, dumpster, one of the others.
Doom 2016, my eternal nightmare for motion sickness.
Properties, lists, and
What a
levels. Man, you're boosted the whole way up. You're boosted the whole way up.
Oh boy.
Here, let me lower myself
Oh my God.
so that people can turn the stream up so that they'll be able to hear you better.
Right on, right on. Oh, I should probably close X-Link.
And we'll work this out as we go on. So hopefully...
It's a work in progress.
Yes. Yeah, I came up with the idea like a week ago, and Vox and I were like, oh, let's fucking send it next Friday. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, no prep, no nothing whatsoever. Build the scenes today. Oh, fucking never join a... This is only the second time, maybe the third time that Vox and I have actually had a voice conversation. We're always just texting each other hearts. So...
Yeah, pretty much. Hearts and kissy faces and stuff like that.
Well, that's the way my regular stream goes. I figured why not do that with the talk show as well.
Yeah,
We'll turn the music off too, so that way.
I think we almost did this last Friday. Like I had it in my head like last Friday before, like after 2 days of talking about it, I was like, fuck it, let's do it this week. I'm glad. I mean,
well,
probably for best that we didn't.
Yeah, let's not have it start off great. Let's bring a bunch of people over and then look like total complete assholes on stream. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like
That's what we do anyway.
All right, so I hope that that's better. I hope it's a little bit more balanced out. I hope that my voice isn't overpowering his too much, and some of the sounds that we're gonna have on stream and stuff aren't gonna overpower anything. I hope.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it's not, we'll have to do some recording at some point in time just to make sure that audio levels are the way that they need to be for future purposes.
Indeed.
All right, it sounds fine to you now? Okay, good deal.
Excellent.
And then it should be fine once I bounce back over to my stream, so it shouldn't interfere whatsoever. All right, so for the start here, I'll let Vox go first. So Vox, why don't you introduce yourself to the lovely people in chat, even though they pretty much just probably came from your stream. Go ahead and throw down that intro, buddy.
So, like you said, most of you know me, but if you don't, my name's Mike, and I do speed runs over on my channel. Sometimes. Right now we're doing the Sneaky Boy Marathon, but I'm also part of Team Redirect, and it's been like 2 or 3 years since I've had to do an intro on a cast at all, so I've forgotten it.
My redirect command's broken in chat.
Of course.
Awesome.
Should redirect it to work.
Redirect
but welcome
to Unfuckville.
Yeah. Welcome to the one place in the world where you can finally talk back to the voices in your head.
Oh, well, that was a goddamn good intro. You sultry motherfucker, you. You sultry. I can't believe I didn't have you VO something for this whole fucking thing. I'm fucking rookie mistake, bro. Rookie mistake.
Boy, you just got out of cam, didn't you?
The embarrassment's real.
Well, it's your turn.
All right. Well, if you don't know me, which I don't blame you, I'm Clouded Rage. I am also a speedrunner, an all-around ragey boy. I've been streaming for about 3 years now, and I am also part of Team Redirect, which is a great group of people. It's actually where I met Vox. So I've only known Vox. When did you join? January?
Yeah, New Year's Day.
Yeah,
Actually.
so it's
it might have been New Year's Eve, but
yeah, it's been since the New Year that I've known you. So that's when I met Vox, and he's like
now
my
we're
girlfriend at
married
this
with
point.
children.
Yeah. So it's very publicly known that Vox is perfect waifu for me.
Absolutely. So I have 2 wives and 1 husband. I think I'm doing all right.
Perfect.
Boy, you should see the taxes I get paid for that.
Absolutely nothing to worry about. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we might as well roll into this. Oh, Kiyu's out here redeeming, drink some beer.
Of course. We've got some good stuff on the docket today, though. They know we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat and Nobody, which I have to get my notes for Mortal Kombat. I didn't take any during Nobody, which I kind of wish I had, but don't really think
I have a decent memory when it comes to movies, but not enough. Because whenever I watch Nobody and Mortal Kombat, so Mortal Kombat was released, like 4 or 5 days ago? And I didn't have the plan. I didn't have the plan for this in my head at the time, so I definitely wasn't taking notes. So yeah, I have no notes. He has notes, so we're gonna bank off of his notes a lot of the way. And I think what we're gonna do, in case you haven't seen or heard of the movies, I'm gonna play the trailers first, so that you can get a glimpse of what the movie was supposed to be, and then we're gonna go into our likely sporadic and mindless dissection of them, I would assume.
I was going to try to send you my notes for Mortal Kombat over Discord, but apparently it exceeds the 2,000 character limit.
Oh my Jesus Christ! Is this university, bro? What the fucking? That's unfucking believable. 2,000 characters. I'm gonna I was like, oh, that guy's outfit's cool. You're like, no, let me write my fucking dissertation on this. Yeah, here's my
thesis on why Sub-Zero's neck is too thick.
Unfucking believable.
That actually is in my notes, though.
Oh my God! I gotta pay way more attention. No more scrolling Pornhub while I'm watching movies. God damn it!
Not for you, buddy.
Son of a bitch! My whole fucking hobby's ruined. It's ruined. Fucking hell! All right. So, I figured we'd start off. I figured we'd start. Do you want to start off with the movies, or you want to start off talking about our feats last week with the world records that we were taking?
Yeah, I feel like talking about the movies is going to take up probably a decent chunk of this. So we could start with some of the smaller in quotes stuff.
Smaller, yeah. I can't run the trailers for Pornhub movies on the talk show ring, or I would. This is not, that's over on my OnlyFans. That's Clouded Gape, onlyfans.com/cloudedgape. That's where you can get all of that content. Twitch might twitch. Yeah, 100%.
He's got one for his gauged out ears too. Clouded gauge.
All right, so we'll start with you fucking asshole. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this little fucker's run in the bottom of the screen, muted, while this asshole goes on about it. So yeah, man, you took the Bravo world record again last week.
Yep, I was de-rusting for the SaveLoadsForLives marathon that we did last week to raise some money for, which we'll probably talk a little bit about SaveLoads maybe.
Yeah,
but basically we were doing this big marathon to raise money for MS Ireland, and I hadn't touched Rava out in any capacity outside of and my daughter's calling.
I mean, she's more important, bro. If you want to go talk to her, I will run my Heaven's Gate shit back, and then we can talk about
Yeah,
her.
run your
Okay.
Heaven's Gate
All right.
stuff. I'll
yeah,
be
daughter's
back.
more important. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
All
I'll be
right,
right
so I guess we'll squander time on my useless achievement that I got last week. So I started running a game called Heaven's Dust, which Heaven Dust. It's not multiple. There's not multiple heavens. It's not possessive heaven. It's just Heaven Dust, which is basically a cartoony RE clone. We started learning it last week, and then I took world record in New Game and New Game Plus, which was previously held by I See Dead Kittens, which I think he won and done it, so I don't expect my achievement to last very long, but those runs were approved. So it's a fun little game if you've never played it casually. I do recommend playing it casually because if you love Resident Evil, you're going to love Heaven Dust. There is a little bit of a language barrier there that some of the puzzles get a little bit confusing because they aren't very clear because English wasn't the first language of the developer. And this was actually bought for me by Vox, so everybody on my channel can blame Vox for that because it took me like 7.5 hours to learn the run and pull world record. It might as well be coked. But see, I think that's what it is. I think all the zombies are just coked out. I think that's what happened. They all look like big-brained aliens. Signs where, oh yeah, X days since previous world record. Yeah. No, that's true. It definitely wasn't the first language in RE. It definitely wasn't. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they had. I can't even defend that. Good fucking point. It definitely wasn't the first language, but you rely a lot more, I feel like, on text in this game to actually get hints for the puzzles. Which I think RE, it was more like you had to just kind of environmentally figure out your solutions. With this, there was a lot of text pointing out, like trying to point you in the right direction that failed. But yeah, this is what I think this is my. I don't even actually know. I had been working on world records there for a while, and the thing about me is that I'm running games that are pretty well dead or unknown, but they're games that I really enjoy. But I enjoy learning new runs. So what happens as a byproduct of that is I pull world records. So about 2 months ago was my first world record, which was in Rico, or it actually was in Wanted. It was 3 months ago in Wanted, which Vox also. I challenged Vox to races in that. To see who could learn it the fastest. And then I took world record in that. Rico, Sniper Ghost Warrior, and then Heaven Dust. And then I lost Sniper Ghost Warrior, and then I got the world record back for Sniper Ghost Warrior, which hasn't been approved in a month. But that's what happens when you run dead-ass games, is that the mods are typically dead on the forums, or they're not very active. So, like, either the game wasn't well known to begin with, or it hasn't been touched in, like, 5 years by anyone. Well, yeah, I didn't want, like, it's weird because I was one of those profiles. Like, it's almost like if you go to my profile and look at my speedrun profile, I look like the dude that's just trying to sweep up, like, easy world records. I promise that's not what I'm trying to do. I promise that's not. I'm playing games that I enjoy playing, but speedrunning them instead. And, oh, Sally just hosted the stream. Apparently my alerts are busted. Since this is on my channel, we're pretty much just using all of my assets. So eventually, if this does well, I would like to branch this off and have it be separate, so that we can kind of split the love between Vox and I, so I'm not always just reaping his stream's viewers. But yeah. So if you don't, definitely recommend checking it out. If you want to run it, it's about a 20, my world record I think was like 25:47 or something along those way. So it's not a long run. It's definitely a run that takes patience, because it is like the damage on enemies is random. The damage from you is random. Their movement is pretty random. There's a lot of code memorization for getting access to doors and things like that. But it's a fun run overall, especially if you're a fan of the Resident Evil series. I would recommend doing it. But since he's not back yet, and I don't want to, I'm just gonna bogart. I'm not trying to make this about me. What I'm working on now is basically I'm learning the Alien Isolation run. I'm gonna do any percent CC, which CC stands for crouch clipping, where you basically bind crouching to your mouse wheel, and that allows you to rapidly crouch to clip through doors. So that's a run that I'm actually probably going to try and throw down tonight to see if I can get some stuff done with that. I don't think that'll be a world record at any point in time. It's just a run that I really want to do. And I started learning Gex Enter the Gecko, which is an absolutely brutal platforming run, and everybody knows that I can't platform because I tried to learn Rava, and I absolutely got my teeth kicked in, and anytime I've tried a platformer since then, it's been absolutely abysmally terrible. So Vox is definitely the platformy guy. I'm more of like the FPS shooty guy. I don't know. I really don't have any clarifications. I have no specifications on what this stream actually is. I'm still trying to figure it out. I have an identity crisis every single time I go live. But basically, it's just people are happy if I'm pissed. So I get it. It's fine. It's fine. But I guess I don't want to talk about his run. I feel bad talking about his run. Daughter is always more important though, so maybe we'll just talk about his run so we can get into the movie stuff whenever he does come back. Oh yeah, the Jump King clips. So somebody did buy me Jump King the other day on stream. It's a very ragey game. Basically, you have to time. You have two buttons that you really interact with, left and right, and space. And depending on how long you hold space is how long you jump, if you don't know what it is. And it's basically one of those rage games like that Bennett Foster or whatever the hell it was, Getting Over It, where you're sitting in the pot with the pickaxe to climb the mountain. It's basically the same concept, but instead of sitting in a pot with a pickaxe, you're jumping. So that was purchased for me, and I actually thought I was doing all right with it, but there's a lot of rage that comes through whenever you fall like 30 levels down. And then there's some other things. I think one of the directions that the channel is going to go in is eventually just doing rage content where chat tries to piss me off. So far, Melonfee's in the lead, but yeah, so that's going to be good times for the channel. Well, I don't want to say anything about Vox's run that he wouldn't once said about Vox's run. But oh yeah, it's not called Cloud. I'm not called Clouded Calm, and there's a reason for that. I thought there was a point in time where I was like, man, I'm gonna change my name from Clouded Rage, because it sounds a little edgelordy. Like I sounded like a little bit of an edgelord, and whenever I presented that idea to my followers, it was slapped down really quickly, like my hopes and dreams. Clouded Reggie, yeah, there you go. Oh, have you seen the new Clouded Reggie stream? The new Clouded Reggie world record? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Everybody loves the name. It fits because I vape like a fucking train. Like I'm like Thomas the Tank Engine over here with my vape. And then the rage part's there, so it fits. Nobody wants it to go away. It's something that I was like, it's kind of hard to brand Clouded Rage. I tried. I'm just not creative, but I tried myself and it didn't work out. And then Drew, who does a lot of Vox's graphics on his channel, actually came through and made a logo that I'm super stoked about. So it's a lot easier to keep the name. Clouded Rage is better than Vape Anger for sure. Vape Anger just doesn't roll off the tongue as well. Just doesn't, it just doesn't leave the mouth as well. It's just uncomfortable. I'm actually a little cringed out by Vape Anger. If my name was Vape Anger, I'd be mad at myself. That'd be horrible. Absolutely horrible. Fucking, the cringe would be real, man. The cringe would 1,000,000% be real. Every time I started up, I'd look at it and cry a little bit inside. Vapanger kind of sounds like I'm a vagina winged. It kind of sounds like you're tuning into a porn stream. Smoky Mad. Fucking Smoky Mad would have been better. That's the route I should have taken. It should have been Smoky Mad. Smoky Mad's about as descriptive as you can get. So I will we'll talk about Vox's run too. Because as much as I hate, I love the game. So for anybody that doesn't know Rava, it's developed by a small company called Galopi. They're a really good dev team. They make really good games. I can't run them to save my fucking life. Once again, platforming is my biggest enemy. But Vox has this godlike ability to pick this game up after months of not running it and yank times that shouldn't be achievable on a D-Rust. So the other day he was D-Rusting for SaveLoadsForLives. He was going to be running Rava in that event, so I think he did an any percent run back to back with the secret ending run. And while this asshole was designing it, while this asshole was derusting it, he pulled world record on, like, I don't even know, he wasn't even live that long. I think it was like a half hour into stream. He pulled one world record that was like a couple seconds better, and then crushed that time and pulled the world record again right after that. So after 4 months of not touching it, not being familiar with it, he comes back in world records, which anybody that D-Rust runs, like, that's an impressive feat. That's not a feat. Like, typically when you come back, you don't expect to be at your top of when you ran the game consistently for 1,800 times. But I guess when you run the game 1,800 times, it's like riding a bike. You just kind of, it flows back to you pretty easily. So yeah, Vox rolled in, did his thing, and his run during the event was actually really impressive. I thought he was going to pull a world record again live on the Save Loads for Live event. And unfortunately, he got hit on, I think, 3-3 and took a dive on the lower level where you have to run all the way back to the beginning of the level. So unfortunately, he didn't pull a world record at that point. But yeah, man, congrats to Vox for being an absolute fucking animal at a game that I can't even dream about running. I tried, and I failed. I think he should do a blindfold run of it. I'm pretty sure the fucker could do it. I think he could do it. I think he has his muscle memory down at this point where he could 1,000,000% do a blindfolded run. And the thing about the game is, I mean, you have to be on point, because like even 1-1 through 1-3, if you don't have like a perfect run up to that point, you can't get the secret level exit at the beginning of 1-3. So if you take any damage, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3 is completely fucked unless you want to run all the way to the natural end of the level anyway. So a blindfolded run of this shit would be absolutely brutal. Yeah, because it is on a cycle. Like if you wait, I don't remember. He obviously very clearly knows it better than I do. And he's shown me a little bit of the detail of it, because I think he wants me to try and take his world record away is what I think he's getting after. He said it multiple times, and I just let him hold on to that crown because I tried it for like 3 days offline and wanted to smash everything I own. So yeah, I don't know. That'd be an interesting thing. It would be cool to race Vox in Rava though. I think that'd be a fun time for both of our streams if we raced Rava. I'm hoping that he runs Meowja whenever it comes out. Meowja is the next game coming from Galopi. I'm assuming that he probably will, because he's so tight with that team. I think it's a good move for him. I think that that's his type of run. I think that once he gets in the zone with those runs, he's kind of hard to be beaten. So I really hope that I see him running that eventually. So yeah, he de-rusted this for Save Loads for Lives. He was actually pretty well involved in Save Loads for Lives. He did some commentary on other runners' runs like Sterling Mallory, things like that. But if you weren't familiar with Save Loads for Lives, it was actually something put on. That wasn't even in association with Team Redirect. It's a separate entity, but it was some of the members of Team Redirect have kind of spearheaded this event, which was done to raise money for multiple sclerosis of Ireland. So it was like a 3-day event of just a bunch of speed runs. There was a lot of good runs during it. Vox had one of them. So it spread out across a few days, and there's going to be more events coming up for that. So hopefully I'll be involved in later ones. I missed the deadline to submit any of my runs, and I don't even know what I was submitted. But yeah, it was a great event. A lot of great runners, a lot of impact. They raised more money than I think that they originally thought that they were going to, which is always great to hear. So I mean, it turned out to be a pretty impressive endeavor. Definitely, it was good to see that it had some success, took off, had some steam. So I hope at all the things that organization, quote unquote, does in the future has the same result. So I don't know where to go from here. So I know that I talked to him. He was also running Wanted there for a while. I hope he can get back into that eventually, because if he takes the world record from me in Wanted, I told him that I would start running Rava, and I don't know if he's actually going to follow through on that or not. I kind of retracted my statement and said that if he takes my world record and I can't beat it, I'll run Rava, but I'm pretty open to the fact if he just takes my any percent of Wanted runs, then I would actually learn this run. Yeah, I did. I'll take the amending back. I think we'll just let the fucker... If he beats me, I'll put myself through the gauntlet. I think I'll do it. Because I got up to like 3-1 when I was learning it. 3-1 through 3-3 is an absolutely brutal section of the game. The game kind of just chucks everything it can at you. So that's one thing I've learned about myself, is that I'm pretty good at reverse engineering runs. I do it a lot because like all of my runs have my inputs on them, so that if anybody comes and wants to learn a run that I do, they can just watch my stream, see all of my key inputs, exactly what I'm doing when, and pick up. But a lot of times whenever I go to learn a run, nobody's doing that, so I've become pretty good at reverse engineering stuff. So I think I have like 17 games over 22 different categories, and I didn't start picking up new runs until like December. Like, I didn't really start going in, definitely not for the first 2 years of streaming. Whenever I came back, I kind of branched out from Resident Evil. So I think it's something, it would be good. I think it would benefit him to do a walkthrough of stuff to get him competition, because like he said, he's ready for somebody to take the crown. I think it would give him a little bit of drive to try and take it back too, honestly. Because as it stands now, he's basically just one-upping himself every time he runs it, which, it's fun, but it gets old. Yeah, no, you can't see my aura. My aura does not flow onto the screen. That's a whole different genre of entertainment. I'm sure his history in the Rava board is ridiculous. Let's take a look here. Let's pull up Vox. I think he might be no, there was an original run that was there. I don't know if I can look at his history in the Rava boards because it doesn't have ops. There it is. So let's pull this up here. Yeah, so a year ago he submitted his first run of 13 minutes. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of... His improvement is good. He started off real low, though. Started off 1350. A lot. Oh, that's great. Cool. Because it broke something. Hold on. Everything's gonna be a problem. Hold on a second, guys. Let's try that. Is that better? That should be better. That should be better. Yeah, so he's the whole board except for Jelly Dots. I think Jelly Dots just did like a casual playthrough of it and submitted that run. Vox has definitely narrowed that time down a good bit. I think whenever he came and started running it, he took it fairly quickly. Like I said, he has the headshot percent inside of Wanted because I absolutely fucking refuse to do that run. I tried, and I freaked out about a quarter of the way into it and decided that I would never touch it again. But he still needs to take cheat percent, close combat, and any percent from me. And I said if he took any percent from me, that you would see me on this Rava board, 100%. He's only done one secret ending run, and then just left it. Which I've actually never seen the secret ending run myself. But yeah, I mean, I'd go after both of them. If he takes my one at any percent, I'll go after Rava, and then we'll both be friends on the board. I think I could at least take second. I don't know about first. That motherfucker's too quick at that game. He's too precise. He's far too precise. But I do have a list of runs. The secret run, I've witnessed pieces of it, and I would like to check out the full thing because obviously it's shorter, and my attention span is about the same as Vox's when it comes to that type of stuff. I do have a lot longer runs than he does, but overall our attention span kind of fades into the same category. But I mean, I'd like to see, and I don't think he could do it, I'd like to see him try to run the Siphon Filter game. Not Siphon, yeah. No, the Splinter Cell games. I'd like to try and get him to run the Splinter Cell games. I definitely don't think, one, that they're his type of run, and two, I think it would ruin the game for him. So I actually shy away from even talking to him about that because I don't want to ruin one of his most beloved series for him. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'll run anything, but I don't want to take away Vox's love for something. Now, I honestly don't think he'd want to either. I think he'd have fun watching the run, which I think that's maybe after Alien Isolation. I think I got really scattered brain for a minute, but I think that I'm gonna do at least the first Splinter Cell game because it is an interesting run. There's a lot of exploits, a lot of tricks, a lot of out of bounds, and that's kind of what I've grown to love now. I don't think he doesn't even have his RE2 run submitted, which he should probably submit at some point for sure, just to at least get on the board. I mean, the Siphon Filter runs are just a good time all around. The game itself is great. I haven't played them in a long time, and I definitely don't have the love for them that Vox has, but I do love them, and I would like to spend more time with them, especially if that time is spent in a speedrun capacity. Because casually, my brain just doesn't comprehend playing games casually anymore, and if I do, I get about halfway through and I'm like, I wonder how long the run is for this. I wonder how long the fucking run is for this category or this game or whatever I'm touching. Yeah, fuck casual. Get that shit out of my house. We don't casual around here. Get that shit out of here. But the Alien Isolation run is for sure gonna happen. I think I've almost got that run down. It's about a 22, I think world record's like 22 minutes. For the category I want to run. It's not a lot of action. It's just a lot of execution on certain skips, certain tricks. A Time Crisis run would be cool. I actually got original PlayStation 1 hardware with the original... No, was the Time Crisis? Yeah. I have the PS1 Time Crisis pistol. Which I think would be a fun run, but I don't have the hardware. I don't have the game. I have the case for the game. It was a gift from somebody. I don't have the actual game itself, so I need to find that. But shit like that would be cool. I thought about doing a House of the Dead run. I don't know how to get that properly set up on PC, especially since like I have a curved monitor, and all those light guns don't really work with flat screen or curved monitors. They kind of only work with the old CRTs because the gun tracked light differently. But I would love to do those types of runs. I want to do a VR run yet. I'm trying to find out what VR game I think would be fun. I think Pistol Whip would be a good VR game to run. Yeah, well, it was actually a gift from my fiance's mom. It was her stepbrother's old stuff, and he didn't really keep it very organized. So she just gave me everything she had in a bag, and it was like a PS1 inside of a PS2 box, a couple controllers, the light gun, and a bunch of random like old PC games, a bunch of PS1 games, a couple PS2 games that I'd never played before. House of the Dead remaster remake coming out for the Switch. How would that just be like with the Joy-Con? Like, I feel like light gun would be shit. I've seen one VR run. The one VR run I saw was super hot, and it's absolutely insane. Let me see if I can actually pull that up real quick. The VR run for super hot is nutty.
You can pull up your pants because I'm done with you.
Oh, God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the hot shot on my back.
Oh, I figure you living up north, you needed something to warm
I know,
you up
dude.
there,
It's
handsome.
chilly. It's chilly. All right, so this is a VR run of super hot. I was just trying to fucking entertain
God,
everybody
VR
poorly. Let me see if I can find a point. Yeah, dude, they just basically it's just a lot of moving arms and shit. So like you're constantly just flailing to try and move faster.
Florida wins. That's right. Bro, can you imagine, like, you know how we use our input displays? Is this what they have to do for input displays?
Just stand in front. My fucking fat ass would be just sweating heavy, out of breath, like fucking dying in the middle of the run. I'd be all
me
fucked
too.
up.
5 minutes. 5 minutes into the run, I'm gonna slip on my own sweat on the floor and bust ass.
That'd be a real problem when I tried to reach for my vape on the desk and shattered the controller and all the runs were done. That'd be the way it went. No, I think VR runs would be great. I think like I said, I might want to do Pistol Whip. That seems like it's a super fast like FPS game. I haven't even played it casually yet, but I was kind of digging around. I'm sure there are runs of Pistol Whip. My biggest thing is just the space, because the space that I stream from is pretty small, and basically getting the quality that I want out of those types of streams. So like audio with mic and everything like that. Like it would be, it's a hard setup to do a good quality VR stream.
It looks like Splinter Cell before they fleshed out the bodies and textures. Yeah, I could see that in some spots. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot in the first couple Splinter Cell games, and hell, actually all of them were. It's like there's always at least one office building or some crap like that.
Well, yeah, man. I wish somebody would fucking just come after me in an office building, put me out of my misery sometimes. So it's a suiting place.
Be a lot easier if you were ever in an office building.
True, dude. COVID's it's just Sam Fisher sitting at home eating fucking Cheerios now. Secretly assassinating flies in his house because he's pissed. Fucking
You just see him with like a chopstick and just flinging it at a fly, pin it to the wall.
Starts going insane, just night vision goggles in his house at night, just fucking chilling on the couch.
I can imagine Sam gets up at like 3 a.m. to go take a piss or something. He's in his like little white and red checkered heart boxers. He's got his NVGs on and he's just sneaking to the bathroom.
Gotta get those knees worked out. You gotta get those knees back in action. They got the vaccine now. I can go back to work. All right, so I took the liberty of talking about your fucking Rava run.
Okay, cool.
And I did inform chat that if you ever beat my 1 at any %, that I will go back to Rava and try to learn it. So they're gonna make you do that.
Beautiful.
Oh, it'd be a great short. 100% be a great short.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I guess we should move on to the movies if you'd like.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for it.
We'll start with Nobody, and then we'll roll into Mortal Kombat. But for anybody that hasn't seen Nobody, I don't know. I guess spoiler alert. I don't really know how deep
we're gonna spoil the shit out of these movies.
Pretty much. You should probably leave or mute or something. Just I don't know, but I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But I kind of want to talk about it while they're fresh in my brain.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat is still fairly new, so if you still want to see that, yeah. I mean, I don't think any of my notes have anything like super spoiler. Most of mine is just.
We're getting ready to save loads for lives right now. Oh shit! Speaking of speedruns and save loads for lives,
Streak of the devil.
Yep, going in with the raid. Welcome on in, everybody. We're doing something different tonight. Yeah, we were just talking about you guys. We're doing something different tonight. Vox and I are trying out the first instance of the Voices in Your Head
pilot
talk show. So welcome on in. Pilot plays games. Jack to Basics. Clearly Brogan. Welcome on in, guys. Mel, what's going on? Hopefully the stream went well. Wheel.
How's it going, kid?
I assume you guys were talking about the highlights of the event.
Yeah, they were giving away prizes too.
Oh man, you guys did a little bit of everything.
Some of the stuff they didn't get to do during the full event. Very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's a good recap stream for sure. But guys, if you don't already, please go follow SaveLoadsForLives so you don't miss any of the future events. Follow them on Twitter as well, so that you can keep up with anything that's going to be coming down in the future. It was a great event, a very entertaining event, and there's a good variety for everyone. So if you like Resident Evil runs, if you like Mario runs, there's just a lot going on. There
was everything. There was no homogeny in that entire thing. There was just so much variety to it. It was insane. Shut up, you fucking clown.
Yeah, and that's what's going on. What's going on? So, for anybody just coming in, we are going to be talking about some recently new movies. One being Nobody, and the other one being the Mortal Kombat movie. So, if you guys are not interested in having those spoiled for you, you can mute the stream, you can leave, whatever the case may be. But there is a possibility that there are going to be some spoilers through our discussions. So, I just want to give fair warning for that.
I feel like Mortal Kombat probably more so because I feel like there was a lot more going on with that in general.
Yeah, and I feel like as far as
Nobody is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, no. Yeah. And I feel like a lot more people probably were interested in Mortal Kombat as far as being on Twitch and content goes. So we'll start off with Nobody, give people time to figure out what they want to do, and then we'll go from there. So what we're going to start off with is I'm actually going to show you guys the trailer so you have an idea of what the movie is, and then once the trailer wraps up, we'll discuss it. So
I'm excited to watch the trailer again.
Enjoy. Yeah, fuck me, man. Watching that trailer makes me want to watch that shit again so badly, bro. So fucking badly. I'll tell you what.
Dude, I know, right?
Dude, it was such an incredible fucking time. Like watching it again makes it just like rehash all the fun I had while watching it, honestly. It might be, I don't know. What was your opinion on it?
Oh, I before we started this, I was saying like, I don't think Mortal Kombat's going to be able to stack up to Nobody. After I saw Nobody, but before I saw Mortal Kombat, I still kind of feel that way.
Dude, it was just so fun. Like everybody knows Bob Odenkirk from being Saul from Breaking Bad, obviously, and Better Call Saul. It was fun just seeing like the middle-aged dad become Wick. Like it was a cool adventure. So like it starts off with him just being a normal dude living a normal life, but you can tell that there's some shit going on. And then like when the people break into his house, you can see like
you can see glimpses of the fact that dad used to be a badass.
Yeah. Like he just keeps telling his son, like his son's doing a report on the military, like veterans.
Yeah, on a veteran.
And he's like, oh, you should talk to your uncle or your grandpa because I was just an auditor. Like, no big deal. And then like once the people break into his house, you're like, oh shit. Like, oh shit. He's got something deep in there that's really fucking awesome. And like it all goes downhill whenever they steal his daughter's kitty bracelet. Like you don't fuck with his family. And then from there it's basically just a roller coaster of action. It's insane.
Yeah. There is one thing in the trailer I noticed that I don't know if it was done intentionally or if like maybe the story changed at some point, but in the trailer the barber was like, oh, when you left a debt, and the previous guy is aware that you're back, so he wants to collect. It's like, I don't know if that was just to kind of like spice things up, or if maybe the writing changed between when the trailer was done and when the movie released, because that has nothing at all to do with the movie.
I noticed that too. Like the entire time, like the whole thing is basically just he's tired of being dad. And he's like, all right, like I'm ready to just fuck shit up. Like they basically revitalize his whole career path. But you're right. There's no instance of at any point in time anybody's coming back to collect the debt that he left.
Yeah, none of that.
He basically just says, okay, I quit, and that's it. And then he comes back to it, which. So it was actually a pretty solid cast with Bob Odenkirk. They had Christopher Lloyd, Michael Ironside. They had RZA in it. Like they had a lot of stuff. Christopher Lloyd was probably my favorite part of the entire movie.
Christopher Lloyd was hilarious in this movie.
Christopher Lloyd plays Bob Odenkirk's dad, and he's like in a home, like basically in a vegetative state. You almost think, but he turns out to be like just as much of a complete fucking badass as Bob Odenkirk is in the entire thing. Dude, it's awesome. It was just seeing Chris, like you haven't seen him in so long. You're always associating him with Back to the Future. Seeing him be an absolute total badass in this movie was one of the funnest things I've seen in a long time.
I think his performance peaked for me in the final, showdown scene with everybody. And it's just this, this little old man just not even trotting, but doing the little old man shuffle around this fucking warehouse,
Yeah.
strapped with shotguns, going
Yeah.
as he
Loving every
blasts
second of it.
people with his shotguns.
Like, he's like, he calls him and he's like, all right, Dad, they're coming. Just so you know, I went a little bit too far. Be ready. And you're like, oh shit, he's gonna die. He's not ready for this. And then like,
Dude,
they
that's
come
what I
for
thought,
him
too.
and get absolutely fucking destroyed. Like, he grabs him.
Yeah.
The nurse comes and checks on him. He's got a shotgun to the dude's chin with his hand over his mouth, just waiting to fuck him up. It's phenomenal. Like, there was so many parts of it. Like, it is basically, I think it has a little bit more comedy than Wick does, obviously. Like, Wick still had its humor, but this is more,
Yeah.
this definitely has more of a comedy side to it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But overall, John Wick is awesome. This movie is awesome alongside of it, just because it's cool seeing people like Bob Odenkirk and Christopher Lloyd being badasses.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was, I went in with just expectations of like, I'm probably gonna like this. I'm probably gonna enjoy this. And as the movie, like from start to finish, you know, it just ramped up for me like the whole way through until the very end. And like, it was just nonstop loving every fucking second of that movie.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's a good time. I think I saw the preview for it the first time, like during the Super Bowl or something like that, and I was like, man, I can't fucking wait for
something like
that. And then it finally dropped like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I think it might have been actually 2 weeks ago it dropped.
What, Nobody? I
yeah.
thought it came out longer. I mean,
Nah, it was relatively recent. So, yeah,
Okay.
man, it was just it was a good time. I definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, it's the funnest movie I've watched in a while.
I think they also had great undertones in there too. Like when you find out why he didn't take a swing at her.
Yes.
When they broke into
of
his house, like the revelation of why he didn't do it, and you're just kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah, like
and then he tracks them down, and you see why they're doing what they're doing. Like I saw that, and I'm kind of thinking, shit, you know, if I was in that position, would I do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they basically, like, the biggest thing was like, all right, you fucked with my daughter, I'm going to come for you. But then once he realizes, like, okay, you were just doing this to basically
Like
supplement
out
your
of
life,
necessity.
take care of your daughter, give her the life that you look for, all that stuff. And then for him to basically find the scum of the earth to fuck with instead, because he just needs to unleash that beast, was pretty cool. Like the whole bus scene is one of the funnest scenes. And it's weird because, like, you always go into it like, all right, I'm going to watch an action movie. He's immediately going to be a complete and total fucking badass. But it's like, it ramps up his badassery through the entire movie. Like, he doesn't just start off like, all right, I'm ready to fuck shit up again.
Like he's rusty at the beginning.
Yeah, he
you can tell.
de-rust. He's basically like, okay, it took him one stream to get world record. That's basically him. He starts off a little rusty, and then by the end, you're like, oh, fuck, he's back. All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the bus scene was really good. I think it was a good way, even if it's a weak reason to connect him to the main bad guy of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense. Like, that's, like, I could see that being something real that happens, but I still felt like it was kind of weak.
Well, yeah, you don't leave the bus scene being like, okay, somebody associated with that isn't going to be the bad guy. Like, they show the bus scene, and then they show the quote-unquote bad guy right after. You're like, all right, they were Russian, he's related. Like, you know that going into it. But it's one of those movies where you pretty much don't watch it necessarily for the story. Like, you watch it for what it is, which is just a badass movie. Like,
and there are bits of the story that are really good.
Yeah. And the story just supplements it at a certain point.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those kind of action movies. Kind of like Commando. You know what you're getting right out the box. You know exactly what you're getting right out the box. Don't think too much about it. Just sit there, watch it, and have a good time, and you will probably enjoy yourself.
Yep. I don't think I'll ever forget him holding Sully over that cliff. I think that's one of my favorite things of all time. Just and the lines are always so corny, and you'd be like, fuck it, dude. I know what I'm getting. Yeah, I mean, that would have been, the ring raised a good point. Like, if you had them, like, he left, and now we're coming back for you because you have to repay this debt, it definitely would have been cliche. There's so many movies that do that. But there's also,
I think it's good that, no, go ahead.
There's also so many movies that kind of, like, this genre, it's hard to create a unique idea in the genre anymore. Like, you're basically going to be doing one of those tropes. Like, oh, you were this paid assassin, we're coming for you. Or we fucked you over, you're coming for us. Or you got into the underbelly somehow and you're fighting something that is underground.
Yeah. But there was some really, really good stuff. Of course, I enjoyed seeing Michael Ironside in it.
Yep.
Dude, I was watching it, and as soon as he showed up, like I messaged Sally, and I'm like, oh my God, I found Sam Fisher after he retired. He runs a fucking steel mill now. One of the little things I loved is when he bought out that steel mill.
Yes.
What was the guy's name? Chuck or Charlie? The son, like the really greasy looking guy.
Yeah.
Like goes to throw a punch at him. He just fucking jabs him in the stomach and sits him down. He's like, just breathe. It's okay. You're fine. It reminded me.
Like the whole movie, he's just calling him a bitch because he let his house get robbed and did nothing about it.
Took his breath away with 4 knuckles and a quick shot. Done with it.
Yep, get the fuck out of here, dude. This is my business now, bitch.
What am I gonna do? I don't care. It's like, all right, bro. And I love how he found the kitty cat bracelet in the fucking basement.
Yeah, so this whole the whole thing kicks off with that, and that was the humor of the movie. Like after he starts all this shit, where he's like, yeah, okay, I might have taken it a little bit too far, but I don't really give a shit. All of the chaos that goes on, he finds the bracelet right there. Like that was the best. That was one of my favorite parts where it was all
awesome.
Unnecessary.
And he's just unfazed by it too.
Yeah.
And that's what I love the most is he's gone from, suburban dad to there's 8 corpses on my couch right now and I'm about to burn them to the point that their bones disappear. But I found my daughter's kitty cat bracelet, so it's cool.
Can't wait to give that back to her. That's going to be a great time. Reunited, and it feels so fucking good.
Yeah. And when at the end of that scene, when he's walking out of the house and he grabs the family photo, I love that bit because it shows a little more of his character. Like he used to be this, absolute badass killing machine, and he settled down and had a family. And while he still didn't quite feel that was him, that shows that there's just a little part of him that's like, no, yeah, this is still a part of me no matter what.
Yep.
Even if I'm running around murdering like 12 people without thinking about it.
Yeah, and he could do both basically. Like he could have the family and do the other thing that he really truthfully did love. It's like the whole theme of his life that he picked was based off of him going to kill somebody, seeing how he let him go, and then saw how happy he was when he went back to check on him because he made him promise that he wasn't going to be a fuckhead anymore, and that's what kicked off Odenkirk actually being like this family guy.
Yeah. I remember he was saying, he was like, I was jealous. I wanted that. He was happy. Who the fuck is this guy? It's just like, well,
Yep. And the summation of the whole thing where they ask him who he is and he just says nobody. It's like, all right, what they showed at the beginning of the movie is like the foreshadowing, but whenever it hits at the end of the movie, you're like, oh, fucking right. Okay. Yeah.
Like it hits way harder at the end.
Yep.
Especially like right after when he answers it and both their phone rings and you just see the looks on their face just drop and they're just kind of like, we should probably take the handcuffs and pretend we never saw this guy.
Yep. So overall, would you recommend it?
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. I would too. If you're an
100%.
action movie type of person, even if you're not, like, I know a lot of people that weren't even super into action movies, but they enjoyed this. It's a fun time. So if you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend it too.
Yeah.
Get the info on
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Never mind. Yep.
I quit. Don't pay me.
Yep. Bye. Yep. They're tracking him down, and the chick's like, "Oh fuck. Okay, now I know who he is. Never mind.
I'm out." I did love his liberal use of the one claymore.
Oh yeah. The scene.
You've got a lot of nerve shown up here. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I suppose I do. It's like, oh shit. And then when the claymore comes back at the end of the movie on the fucking shield.
Oh yeah, dude, the end.
So good.
And I almost don't even want to talk about it, but the execution of that was fucking brilliant. Like it was like out of the whole movie, like whenever you're like, oh shit, okay, he is a little bit crazy. We'll leave a little bit to surprise there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, the rebar cannons were fucking amazing too.
Yeah, the creativity of it. Like, it wasn't just like, okay, I have a
really
bunch
was.
of ARs. Like, they had some guns, but he basically, like he did, like, I think Ring said it earlier, like, he basically does MacGyver the shit out of it place. Like, Kevin McAllister MacGyver. It's like John Wick meets Home Alone meets MacGyver is the entire movie.
That's a good way to put it. 100%. I loved it. I will probably watch it again soon.
I actually thought that as I was watching the trailer. I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to fire this back up.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to watch that again. And usually repeat viewings are for very specific movies with me because I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't have time for it. But like movies, I'll always watch any of the Rambo movies. Pretty much anything that's been made out of a Michael Crichton book. Congo, Sphere's my favorite. Jurassic Park, that kind of shit.
Yep.
The two spectrums of it. You have the dumb no brain action, and then you have the big brain science stuff.
Sam, I watch a little bit of everything. Typically it's horror or action, but it's a lot of like Pulp Fiction, like the Pulp Fiction Fight Club. Like, if they're on, I'll always watch them. Like, I had to go back and watch Pulp Fiction recently, but like those ones where if it's either it's got to be mindless shit, or like I like rewatching psychological thrillers to try and pick things up, or those are always the go-tos. Horror's a little bit harder to rewatch, but this is definitely back to the top of the list again. It's a fun time.
Yeah, it's just flat out fun. It's just good times.
Yep.
So definitely gets a pass from me. What about you?
Oh yeah, but 100%, absolutely. Yeah,
seemed like kind of a dumb question, but
yeah. I mean, I'm also mindless myself. I'm just the yelly boy who likes a good time and a lot of action. So, it's definitely like, I don't think I could convince, like, if you're married, you're probably not going to get a double couple rewatch, but it's something that I definitely, like, while I'm just doing something else, will throw on. It's kind of added into the repeat category.
Oh yeah. And the one last thing I want to touch on before we do whatever we're gonna do to poor Mortal Kombat is at the very end when they're buying the new house, and he was looking at the realtor and he's like, does it have and his wife goes, a basement? And just a look on her face, like he is gonna just she's like just so happy that husband is back fucking shit up.
Which makes me hope. It makes me hope for a sequel. Like, maybe there's gonna be where he's just from the beginning, like, ready to fuck shit up. Like, that'll be good.
That would be super cool. So. Okay, I'm gonna let nobody go for now, so I don't, so it doesn't become the whole.
I'm trying to balance it. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I could talk about every scene of the entire movie, but I'm like, if you haven't, I feel like a lot of people probably haven't watched this one. I feel like a lot more people probably watched Mortal Kombat when it dropped. A lot of people probably haven't watched this one. It was kind of not necessarily under the radar because it was talked about a lot, but it was definitely less in the spotlight. Yes, less in the spotlight. Yeah. So, all right, we'll dive into Mortal Kombat. So I'll show you guys again the trailer, and then once it's done, we'll start chatting about it. So yeah. There we go. Okay, so I'll show you. I'm gonna take my hat off, even though my hair's kind of fucked up right now. If I can remember which side. Now we just got regular Mortal Kombat videos going on in the background. I don't know if you can see it. It's like right here, I think. So it's either on that side. There's like 2 dots, or that side. There's 2 dots. So that's what a birthmark is. It's basically a blemish that you're born with. So mine is on the side of my bald head. But yeah, it's not nearly as fucking cool. It's just 2 dots. It's just 2 blemishes. Well, for anybody that doesn't know. All right.
Maybe you've been chosen for Dominoes.
No, I've been chosen. Yeah, Dominoes. Fucking chosen to be a reject. Snake Eyes. I got the lowest fucking dice roll you can get. That's why I don't play D&D.
I know that pain.
All right, so I'm going to point out something that really, watching that trailer, fucking drove me insane. And it really pisses me off. They make Scorpion seem like he is so much bigger a part of this movie than what he is.
Yeah.
Like, you really
he's probably got like 5 minutes of screen time.
yeah, like you made him. It made it seem like this whole thing was gonna be like even the fucking poster. Like look at the poster down at the bottom right now. The poster is Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
He's on the screen for like the last 10 fucking minutes. The rest of the time it's just his shitty offspring. Fucking like I don't know. That's the first thing. I just wanted to point that out. That's the thing that drove me most nuts about this entire movie. I went into it like you have the get over here line in the trailer. You have all this shit that points to Scorpion being a way, 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 way bigger presence in this film, and he's nowhere to be found except for the end. I guess the beginning, but pre-Scorpion.
I like that version of him, the pre-Scorpion one, as Hanzo.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yep.
I've got my notes up on the other screen.
Go ahead, bro. I'll let you roll with it because, like I said, you took notes. I didn't. I was unprepared for this.
So I'll try to chunk it out so that it's for each each scene.
Yep.
So like the opening one, I thought the opening fight scene and the opening scene in general, I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked the way that it was choreographed. I like that, it wasn't, how a lot of action movies or fighting movies have this horrible, horrible habit in the past like 10, 15 years where they supercut each hit.
Yeah.
So it's like you see like 3 frames of them swinging and the other guy reacting and then they swing it back. And I cannot fucking stand that. It's like, you want me to watch the fight? Let me watch the fight.
Yeah, very regularly.
I don't need a supercut.
Yeah, you can't figure out what's going on 95% of the fucking time. Like have a faded shot. It's almost like you're trying to cover up problems with choreography whenever you do that. Like I don't have as much faith in your fight ability whenever I'm on top of you and you're just super cutting to each single punch and like this jumps over here, this jumps over here. I like them to be, I like it to feel like it's an actual fight. Like I'm watching an actual fight. And I think you bring up a good point that a lot of that super cut shit where like I have no idea what's actually going on. And if you get motion sick, like I'm going to throw up in the living room right now. Like I'm glad that wasn't there.
Yeah. That's something that I noticed. Like, it seems like some of the fights they did that, but some they didn't. It just felt very all over the place with the editing in general.
And it could be something. Sense. It could be something like maybe they had more experienced martial arts fighters than you had. Like in one scene, you might have had somebody who's really good at it. In the other scene, you had somebody who wasn't necessarily so good at it. So you might have been trying to put a Band-Aid on basically. I'm sure you put a lot of time into it, but you just don't have that edge that we need to be able to zoom out and show this fight.
I feel actually, what that might make that makes a lot of sense because that opening fight scene, like you can tell those are some skilled motherfuckers. They know what they're doing. They absolutely know what they're doing. But like the first fight with Sonya and Melina, I'm looking at it going, is this a PowerPoint presentation? Is this a fight? Is this a movie? What the fuck am I looking at? What is happening? And you bringing that up makes it make a whole lot more sense.
And it could also be a thing of like the first fight doesn't really have any of their ability in it. So like it's basically just it's a straight up fist fight. Like he's throwing like the chain and stuff like that, but none of it's really like I'm not shooting like my fireballs at you. I'm not shooting fireballs my phaser at your face. Like none of that. Like Kano's laser isn't going off. Like you might have to reset a shot for that, and you might even reset the shot because you want that to be the main focus. Like you want, like you're gonna load this laser up. So instead of like having it phased out, like we're gonna zoom in on Kano's face, and then as the laser goes off, it's gonna like scatter around the room and be real crazy. So you might have to reset shots for that. So for those two reasons, I think the choreography and probably the power fights, you're probably going to see a lot of the cuts in that. But I do agree that whoever played Sonya Blade maybe just didn't have the same probably training as who played Hanzo.
Yeah. I mean, Hanzo looked like, he obviously looks like an older guy. And with the way he moves, he does not act like an older guy. Like... No. Homie was just going off.
Yeah, it was that first fight scene set the movie up in a way that I was like, all right, dude, like I feel like this is going to be what I hope it's going to be with that first fight.
Yeah, like I mean, I would have been perfectly fine if that first opening scene was the whole movie. Like, for me, that was such a good scene. I love the setting. I love the costumes. I love the cinematography, which is one thing I want to say. I did like the cinematography for most of this movie, and whatever filters they used, especially for that first scene, were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, they really
Like,
made
they were
you
absolutely
feel like,
beautiful.
Yeah, you really felt like you were into, like you were engulfed in it almost, like you were focused in, you were part of that environment. You could feel like a lot of the situations, like throughout the movie, and I'm sure we'll get to them, but a lot of those situations, like whenever you are doing, they set the right environment. It's almost like using the right music inside of a horror game. Like, you need me to have the visuals to understand that this situation is either grave or, you know, whatever the case may be. Like, visualization goes a long way with that stuff.
Yeah, and they did a fantastic job with it. The other half of that, this is all spun off one line from my notes that apparently are way too big to send over Discord.
Over 2,000 characters of fucking dude. Kids in film school don't even fucking take that many notes over a course of a semester. I got this asshole across Discord like, actually, in this point they use this type of lens. I think they should have used this type of lens. Actually, okay, fucking get out of here. Fucking.
I would too.
Fucking.
But the other half of the note was the music sucks. Are they stuck in 2001?
Yeah, I can agree.
I
with
did
that.
not like the techno music they used at all.
I almost wish you just use the original music. Just fucking just use the original music from all that shit. Like, that would have had more nostalgia purposes than anything else.
Yeah, and those actually felt like they had weight to them. Whatever it was in this one, just it felt it was like the aluminum foil of techno. Like, it's there,
Just some kid,
and sure it works, but
some kid with a synth drum kit in his basement throwing shit together.
yeah, I'm gonna whoop that ass. You need to be using those 808 kick kits.
It is criminal to make bad music choices. It really, I mean, it will really.
It really is. There's no reason.
Like, music will, and that's one of the things. Like, as much as the visualization, like as much as their cinematography brings you into a movie, as much as music can bring you into a movie, both of those things can take you out of a movie just as much. And it's almost like you have to have both. Like, having one and not the other will basically, you wasted time on the one thing as opposed to the other thing.
Yeah, there's got to be even middle ground is fine.
Yeah,
but like, having one without the other can just throws the whole thing off. Like, for me, I just kind of tried to tune the music out, but you know, it just didn't. It felt like they were way behind the curve on the music.
Yeah, I can see that. For me. I can agree with that. It's definitely not something that I don't think impacted, and I'm also obviously much dumber as far as being a movie watcher goes. So yeah, you're gonna be you're basically a fucking professional compared to me. I'm like, ooh, look at that, there's blood. Oh, he fucking hit him in the face. Oh! That's my entire experience watching movies. But
bro, remind me to reference that when we get to the Jackson Renko fight.
Okay, yeah,
because my reaction wasn't much different.
Yep, that's pretty much okay. All right, good point. All right, so yeah, the opening fight scene is great. I definitely, like, even leading up to the fight scene, I love that. Like, the tenseness that you felt, like, you hadn't even been connected to these characters yet, but the tenseness that you felt whenever Sub-Zero walks into their home and, like, they had the baby and the wife and oldest son, like, all of that stuff. Like, whenever he asks where Hanzo is, even though you're just coming into the movie, you're like, oh, fucking Hanzo's down getting water. Hanzo's down getting water. Come back up, Hanzo. Yeah. Like, you feel the tenseness of that whole scene, and like Sub-Zero's
just worried for his family.
Like, his demeanor is so great. Like, the way that they handled a lot of that, I think that opening scene's good. I agree. So then,
his presence was incredible.
Yep.
But as far as Bihan goes, my next note is Bihan's neck is fucking huge. Why is his neck so big?
I never even looked at his neck. I was like, oh, this fucker's got his mask on. Oh my god! Like, I never. Fucker's got a
he's got the necks. He's got the neck of Corpse Grinder, and he's got the arms of a toddler. What is this guy? That's the size of a watermelon. What the fuck?
He's got that RE5 fucking Chris neck. What is going on over here?
He really did, though.
I never, and I honestly, see, I'm gonna have to get you. We're gonna have to take notes, and we're gonna have to compare notes before, because I never in a million years was like, this motherfucker's neck looks weird.
Dude, it just stuck out to me.
Fucking necky bitch is coming at you. Run!
Get out of here. He keeps all his ice in his neck.
I'm fucking brewing ice cream right now. It's churning. He's got a whole ass Dairy Queen on top of his shoulders. What the fuck's going on?
Got it.
You got cookie dough in there, brother? Shit.
He's got 32 flavors of ass whooping coming for you.
Beans and Robins coming at you. Fucking get down.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. Fucking Roger Ebert's like, this motherfucker, wait a second, I missed that.
He's rolling in his grave.
I missed shit. Metacritic's gonna have a 2 on there. You know what? This motherfucker's just too big a neck.
Where's the rest of the Metacritic score? It's behind his neck.
Yeah. All right.
You know, the guy that plays Bihan's probably gonna watch this, and he's just gonna fucking pop out of the closet and kill us both.
Very, very likely. Either that or he's going on a neck diet next week. Let's Googling right now how to make my neck thinner.
Really sticking his neck out for it.
Oh, fuck. Okay. All right. So
I didn't expect this part of the review to turn into like 10 minutes of roasting.
Yeah, dude. We talked about his neck longer than we talked about the entire opening scene of the fucking movie.
We're not even done with my notes for the opening scene, just so you know.
Okay, perfect.
That was the second one.
I'm ready. Let's fucking dive in.
Some of the other stuff we already covered, talking about how great the fight scene is. I really liked Hanzo's use of the rope trowel.
Yep.
And kind of really showing, Scorpion's,
Yep.
future with it. I really like that. I did the main thing from the scene that it showed me was that the fighting is true to the series roots.
Yeah.
And that these people get, harpoons stuck into them. They get cut up, beat up, and all this stuff, but they keep fighting like nothing happened.
Yep.
And that might be a little thing, people who aren't familiar with the Mortal Kombat franchise might look at it and go, wow, that's really kind of stupid. What did it? And it's like, that's actually accurate to the games. And I appreciate that as someone who loves the games.
Yeah. And that's something that it was hard because you almost have to suspend disbelief for that because like whenever anybody gets fucked up like that in a Mortal Kombat movie, like you want them to be in the next movie. Like you don't want them to be done. Like you want them. And like, I hope they find some way to explain that off. But it's if you're gonna do the same thing that you've done in the games forever, there has to be a way to bring them back. Like,
there's got to be something.
But I a lot of these situations, it didn't seem like you were gonna be able to bring them back. So, but the brutality, you're right. Yeah. It's there. It's in line with the movies or the games. They didn't slack on that aspect of it. Rambo not being. I really wish there'd be some shit if there was just a Rambo crossover. Fucking, they're like, oh, he's in the game. Just throw him out there. Fucking, we got the license, I guess.
Even though Rambo's not in it, it's fine because Jax is still in it. Jax is my dude, so
yeah.
I'm totally happy with that.
My dude is Kung Lao. Fucking. So, yeah, that's my main. So we'll get to that, I'm sure. You're right, right? It does kind of take away from it because really not having like that was, and once again we'll get into it with like even Kung Lao and stuff like that. But you're right, not having the real world consequences would make all of the combat a little less like, okay, well, I guess I'll see him tomorrow. Like that, you're right. It would detract from the drama with it 100%. Because even in the games, like once they're dead in the game, like if you're playing story mode, they're dead. Like if I fatality Melina, she's not gonna be there the rest of the story. She's gonna be there in like exhibition mode. So it's yeah.
It works. It works in the realm of Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
We've pretty much covered some of the other notes for that one. The two closing ones for that first scene are that I thought Raiden's glowing eyes looked fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like they just look so out of place.
Yeah,
it's like just don't even bother. Like when Christopher Lambert played him in the original Mortal Kombat movie, he was fine. He looked perfectly fine.
Yeah,
he didn't need that unless like special effect time.
Give him like blue contact lenses. I'll be cool with that.
There you go.
I'll be fucking cool with blue contact lenses.
Christopher Lambert's a national treasure, you bastard. The other one was that even at that point in the movie, I thought the costume design was fucking amazing.
Yeah, they were on.
Like
point,
I really loved it.
I agree with that. I feel like all of that, like everybody that was in the movie, regardless of whether I feel like they casted them right or not, whenever I saw them, I knew who they were. I was never unsure of like, okay, like whenever you see the revealing, like even in that first fight, even though they don't have their powers, they do a really good job of saying like, here's who this guy is and here's who this guy is. Like,
yeah, it was easy to designate which character was which amongst themselves because either by their design or their attitude or whatever, they were very true to who they were.
Yeah,
I think.
Nope, I agree with that. The design section gets a lot of wins for that.
Absolutely, which I'll touch on some of that stuff a little later once we get to getting more characters into the roster. But
yep,
that's where my notes for the opening scene end. The next one is when we get introduced to Cole.
Yeah. Okay. So, what were your feelings on Cole when you first like saw him?
My initial thoughts were like, okay, who is this guy? Like, what is his purpose? Before the movie ended, I'm like, when we're ramping up to it and he's getting, visions of Scorpion and all that, I'm like, is he gonna be Scorpion now? Is he gonna be possessed by Scorpion? Like, what's the deal here? And then he turns out to be a Guyver.
Yeah. So
I'm just kind of like, okay.
That's what fucked me up about him is because, especially with the trailer, making it look like Scorpion was so involved, I thought that he was going to be Scorpion. 100% from the time, like,
me too.
And like, even like, I don't know. Like, it was just from the get-go, like, yeah, he had the MMA and all that shit, and he looked like a total badass, but you're like, okay, he's getting the vision, Sub-Zero's hunting him down, he's the bloodline of Hanzo, 100%, this is going to be the new Scorpion. And I know the games have a history of, like, Scorpion being down in hell, which, obviously, whenever the first scene ends and he burns up, I figured that's what was happening. And then they show Cole, and you're like, okay, man, like, Cole is going to some way, like be a
reincarnated Scorpion.
Yes. I thought for sure that was going to be the way that it was. Too. And unfortunately, unfortunately for me, I don't know how you would feel about it. I feel like if he would have been Scorpion, it would have been a better movie overall to me.
I feel like that would have been one good option, but I think the reason we have Cole is maybe for the people who have never played the games, haven't read any of the books, haven't seen the old movies. Like, I think Cole is meant to be there as there's always that one character in the movie that's supposed to be the connection between what's happening in the movie and the audience. Yeah. Kind of like that middleman. That's exactly what he is. And I feel like, I say this as someone who's played the games from, day one, Mortal Kombat, back in 92 all the way up to now. And for me, I look at him and I'm kind of like, yeah, we really don't need you. And your power's kind of stupid.
Yeah. 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 I felt the same way. But you're right. For somebody that, like, if you're watching this with, I don't know, like if my mom were to watch this movie, she's not going to give a fuck about who any of them are.
Yeah.
So I guess having that, like, okay, this is new to everybody and it's kind of the commonplace item for everybody that watches this film. Okay. I can see their point with that.
Yeah, plus, I mean, it might have extended the movie too. Because I think, I don't know, because, the original Mortal Kombat movie wasn't all that long. It was regular feature length.
Yeah.
But I feel like there really wasn't, I think what they did with a lot of characters was fine, like Liu Kang and Kung Lao. Like they made, it makes sense they know about Mortal Kombat, especially in the sense of this story. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still very confused by Cole mostly.
And I get, like, there was a lot of, like, this is your first time ever hearing about it. There was a lot of character development. I think there was enough character development that you could have spent time developing. But I guess you also needed a main character. Like,
Yeah, that's true. With Mortal Kombat, it's like, who do you pick?
yeah, because you can't just be like, okay, like, yeah, Scorpion's going to be in a lot of this movie. You can't have him just like, all right, he's dead. Now he's back. Like, you can't just do that, I guess.
Yeah, that would confuse people even more, I think.
It would have just been fan service. That's pretty much what it would have ended up being, is fan service.
I feel like that's all he was in this movie.
Yeah, that's definitely all he was in this movie. 100%. 1,000. He shows up, screams, get over here. You're like, oh, shit! Oh,
Here he goes!
Oh! You're like, yeah, that's what I've been waiting for the entire fucking movie, asshole! I watched the trailer, heard get over here. I'm like, oh, shit! All right, I can't wait. It's going to come out. He's going to be like, get over here. It's going to be this awesome. No. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
I got Cole fucking... Punchy
Cole
boy.
McGrath over here.
Punchy boy. I can take a good beating.
Oh,
like, okay, all right, fucker.
It's like, yeah, he's good at getting his ass beat.
Yeah, awesome.
But the first thing that struck me in the scene when we get introduced to, like when Cole meets Jax, and Jax is like, oh yeah, you took the title off Eddie Tobias. I just kind of stopped and I was like, my note is literally name dropping Ed Tobias. Come the fuck on.
I mean,
if you don't know what that means, if you're not like super into Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon and John Tobias are the creators of Mortal Kombat. So they just said Eddie Tobias, and
it's once again fan service, which I can appreciate, being a fan of the series. And I'm one of those fans of the series from afar, because as we've all seen on my channel, whenever I play Mortal Kombat, I break shit. So I have a very like tepid relationship with the game, because I know if I play it, I'm going to be broke. But yeah, that's fan
it made me facepalm, like in a good way. Like I can't believe you fucking said that.
Yeah, it's not going to matter to anybody, but anybody that's familiar with the game and its development process, you're gonna know.
Yeah, you'll know. The next note is, of course, Cole's from Illinois. I'm not sure if that's accurate, because all I saw was the license plate on Jax's truck.
Yeah, no, because what? Oh, yeah, I mean, it's Jax's truck, and that's where their base was, right?
I think so.
I don't know. Where was he fighting? Where are they fighting at? I'm assuming that's where he's from. I don't even remember. Yeah. See, that's one of the.
It looked like St. Louis.
Yeah, but that's also one of the points. Like, as somebody, and so yeah, it's there to be the common ground for everybody. And you kind of need a main character, but that shows how much I actually gave a shit about his story. Really.
Yeah.
Because basically, once I found out that he wasn't going to be Scorpion, I didn't care about any of it.
Good night, Willie. Have a good night, buddy.
Take care, Willie. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, the opening scene with Cole fighting, like I saw, I was watching the fight and I'm enjoying it, and I'm like, okay, maybe he'll win this fight. Maybe he'll pull through this one time, because apparently he gets his ass beat on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he gonna do it? And then he just fucking gets worked, and I'm like, I'm already disappointed in our main character.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, and I guess it's good to show like a rags to riches type of thing, but I definitely,
I guess so.
Like, I want you to roll in there. Like, if you're gonna be my main character, I expect if you have that background, you're just gonna be a total badass.
Yeah,
but
that's not to say he didn't give that guy an absolute fucking working. He beat that guy's ass.
Mm-hmm. But it does go into his character development, though, too. And I think that's where, I don't know. I suck at talking about movies, apparently. I'm fucking all over the place. Like I said, this is going to be scuffed. This is my first time doing this. We'll get better.
It's okay.
But I think it ultimately leads to what his power is. Like, all of that. All of that.
The Arcana sitting there watching him his whole life, and it's just like, damn, you are really good at getting the shit kicked out of you. You know what? Your special power isn't fireballs. It's not ice. It's not lasers. You get armor because you get the fucking ass whooped right off of you every time. Here you
100%.
go.
100%. You get a lot of pain. We're gonna use pain as power, baby. We're gonna use. You suck at fighting, so hopefully this helps.
It's true though.
It is true.
Bro, I'll pick on him some more later about that. I thought the opening scene with him was like the fight was all right. It seemed out of place though, but I guess that's kind of to be expected with the whole, like, we have a character that has no place in Mortal Kombat. I think one of my notes later on, like after his Arcana popped out, I was like, what the fuck is he supposed to be? Is he the NPC that you play from the crypt? Like when you run around breaking open boxes and barrels and shit. I was like, is that who this guy is?
The game's like, well, this developer's kind of into MMA, so we gave him a little bit of a part in the game because he got Employee of the Month. Like, that's basically what happens with
Pretty
Cole.
much. Oh yeah, there's a note right there. What the fuck even is Cole's power? Is he the crypt PC?
Sucker can kick boxes real well, dude. Real well.
Oh yeah.
Box comes up against him, it's fucking over. Game over.
Done. The next one is, I hate to say it because I love Jax so much. I've loved Jax from Mortal Kombat 2 onwards. I absolutely adore Jax. Like, the first thing I do anytime a new Mortal Kombat game drops is I look for him on the roster. And it hurts me to say this about him in the movie, but I think it's a steady thing. It's consistent throughout the whole movie, is that his acting was just super stiff.
Yeah, I think him and Sonya Blade are both, like, it's convenient that they're so buddy in the movie because their acting is both pretty tough. Like,
yeah, there were I got that vibe from Sonya real bad where she'd like be delivering a line that's supposed to sound badass, and it's like you sound like someone who's trying to be badass that has no business even pretending they're badass in any way.
well, it's
Like, that was the
convenient
vibe I
because
got.
in the game, Sonya Blade's played by Ronda Rousey, who has no acting ability whatsoever. So in the game, the voice acting was terrible. In the movie, it was also terrible. So they just wanted to stay true to the most recent game, is the way I see it.
Shit, I guess so.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh yeah, his acting was stiff, but I did appreciate his good trigger discipline while he was hunting Sub-Zero.
Yeah, okay. All right.
He had good trigger discipline.
He did. I always
Which
appreciate
makes
it
sense.
about movies, man. I appreciate it when I don't see your finger on the trigger. I appreciate you.
Yeah, when you're in hunt mode and you have that finger outside the guard where it's supposed to be, if you're not ready to pop something, it's a tiny thing, but I appreciated it.
You're like, man, his acting's so stiff. I need something. Give me something that'll make him better, please. Oh, trigger discipline. Oh, this motherfucker knows his shit. I knew I liked you, dude. I knew I liked you.
My man. Oh my god. And when he fights Sub-Zero, I mean, it's not even much of a fight.
No.
When Jax corners Sub-Zero, you see most of that fight in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, Sub-Zero just grabs his arms, frees him. That part didn't get me. That part didn't make me flinch. It's when he fucking just pushes him over the edge and he fucking baps right on that concrete.
Yep.
And bounces off of it, bro. My skin crawled. I was like, not my boy. Not my baby boy, please.
He hits that fucking concrete. His arm shatters even more. Like, that was, I see. And this is, movies have a really bad tendency to do this now, where you want people to come watch your shit. So you show all of the big moments in the trailer and essentially spoil the entire movie. Like, I'll watch, like, when I decide if I watch a movie nowadays, I watch the first 30 seconds of the trailer. If I'm interested, I'll watch it. If I'm not, I won't. But if I'm interested, I'll turn it off right then and there. Like, because I know you're about to ruin everything. And that's all of the big parts that were in this movie were definitely in the trailer.
Yeah. Which, I want to touch on something real quick, is for that scene that comes back later when the monks are, taking care of Jax. And I think it's Liu Kang. He's like, or Raiden or whoever the fuck is like, the ice cauterized his wounds.
Yep.
I was like, since when the fuck does ice do that? Like, I know heat does it. Like, I know that 100% that heat does it, can and will do it. It's like, when did ice start doing that? Have I just missed this part of physics in chemistry?
I guess.
Where's Shell?
Yeah, right. You need
She'll know.
Like that. I know, right? I guess the whole point is to just, I don't even know, man. There's not really even any defending it. I guess if you get it cold enough, maybe it's just to, like, present that Sub-Zero is the ultimate, like, he's so powerful that like his ice has vaster properties. I don't know, like
I mean, I could buy that
because once it thaws, like ice is
once it
that's what-
thaws.
yeah, once it thaws, you're fucked. Like there's not a bunch of like if you pull a body down from Mount Everest and it's frozen, like they're not caught, they're not burnt. Like they're
No.
I guess frostbite. I don't know.
Frost. Yeah, that's the one thing I could think of.
Like
but-
maybe they were just trying to emphasize that this motherfucker is the penultimate when it comes to Cody boys.
Could be, no. Oh yeah. The other note after that is that started strong on fight scenes, but the Sub-Zero Jax fight is too supercut,
Oh, okay.
which could lead back into, what you said earlier is maybe the guy who played Jax isn't. Maybe he's just not a skilled fighter so much. Because
don't-
I mean,
they
I
didn't
could
really
imagine there
supercut the
being
rest of
this-
his stuff, right? Though, like the rest of his fights are pretty.
with Jax, no, because his other fight with Renko, there wasn't even much to cut. There were like
No.
3 hits.
True. I guess that's like the combination of what I said earlier. It's not only is it the
Yeah.
first time that you've seen powers in a fight, but then it's also maybe Jax just wasn't like you're meant to be a brute, like stopping a bunch of that Sub-Zero martial arts shit. Like maybe you just weren't coordinated enough to do that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of is that whatever his skill set is maybe it is just too far removed from the guy who played Bihan in Sub-Zero. Because like I could see the guy that played Jax, I could see him being like a boxer or a wrestler or something, and maybe that was just too far removed to work well with whatever choreography they could have tried.
Well, the other thing about him is he's so fucking yoked. Like, have you ever seen a dude that big? Like, there's always jokes online where they like put a post-it note in the middle of a big guy's back because he can't reach his arms back there. Like,
Yeah, dude was big.
He was fucking yoked, and that very well could have led to the fact that he wasn't as limber as Bihan / Sub-Zero
Yeah.
was. So maybe he just didn't have that. Like, they tried to supercut to cover up his shit.
Well, I mean, Bihan, all he has to do to get ready for that fight is crack his neck and his whole body's good to go. bro.
Yeah, 100%. He's fucking, that's the only muscle he's worked out over the years. Everything else is just ice powers. His neck is ready to fucking beat some ass. That's what he leverages.
Oh, man. Yeah, with, yeah. But going from that, I don't even remember what the scene was. Oh, it was Melina when you first see Melina, who I like the girl they chose for her.
Yeah,
I thought she was gorgeous,
Yeah.
which
I
is
think they
kind
fit.
of supposed to be part of Melina's thing.
Yeah, like you're gorgeous, but you got some fucked up chompers. Like, those
I can
aren't
live
coming
with
back.
that.
Yeah. Turn around.
Like I saw her, and my first thought was, "Ooh, still an hour and a half left of this." I was not in an entertained spot at that moment with the movie.
I mean, so directly after the whole Jack Sub-Zero scene, they go to Sonya Blade, and they introduce Kano, which in my opinion, Kano was probably one of my favorite parts of the entire movie. Because I feel like, obviously, he had the most personality. But that scene with,
Kano was-
like, the scene whenever I honestly can't think of the name of the lizard. What the fuck is the name?
Reptile.
Yeah. So they send Reptile in, which were real hard to remember. That's my fucking my brain cells really working hard for that one. So like I feel like they did a good job. CGI has gotten to a point where a lot of time with CGI you can really like see right through it. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with the CGI they used on Reptile for all of that fight. I think they did a pretty good job with him disappearing, reappearing. This is unfortunately where like Sonya, like I noticed this a lot. Like Sonya, not even just her acting, but her fighting methods, I think were pretty unbalanced. You know what I mean? Like the choreography really wasn't there for her. I noticed a lot of flaws with her.
Yeah. The I really loved what they did with Reptile.
Yeah.
Like I don't love the amount of time he was in the movie, but I don't think he would have needed any more.
That that was really the first fan service part, I thought, and maybe I missed out on something, but the Kano wins part.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
Like that was great. Like whenever Kano finally wins and he like has the heart in his hand and he basically looks towards the camera and says Kano wins. That was like, all right. I'm like, fuck yeah, Kano. Let's kick some fucking ass, bud. Like I'm ready to go.
Dude, Kano really was a lot of fun.
Like they couldn't have done a better job casting him, in my opinion. I think that was like his wit, like the way that he delivered lines, like his style, like everything. I think just fit him really fucking well.
Oh yeah, the fucking audacity on that man.
Yep.
Like actually, one of my notes, a couple lines down, is that Kano's perfect to himself, and this is probably the best version of Kano to date.
Yep. I agree with that. He was by far my favorite part of the movie.
He was a lot of fun, absolutely. Yep. Like in Mortal Kombat 11, he takes on more of the psychopath side, where he's just like straight up fucking crazy.
Yep.
And but in this movie, I really appreciated the fact that he is crazy, and you can fucking tell that the man is 3 sheets to the wind, out of his fucking mind.
Yep.
But he's still grounded enough to give off the aura of, I'm an untouchable motherfucker. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, and even when he gets his ass beat, he's like, I'm the best. You know who I am? I'm a fucking black dragon, bro. Like, all right, buddy. Sonya Blade just fucking whooped your ass real hard, real easy. Black Dragon might need to tone down a little bit, because this fucking bad acting Sonya over here really put you in your place.
Yeah. I did like his little art book, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a whole graphic novel out of this, mate." It's like, "Fuck yeah, bro! I want it.
Yep.
Publish that shit, please."
Yep, that's the Kano way for sure, for sure. So the whole reptile thing happens. They do all that, and then it's basically they pretty much from that point
go on the hunt.
They go on the hunt. Yeah. So they're walking through the desert.
This is where I start having more problems.
Dude, Raiden sucked. Or not Raiden, fucking I
mean, you're not wrong.
Oh, why can't I think of his name? Fucking
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang. It was horrible.
Boy, I've got words about Liu Kang.
Horrible. What the fuck was their thought process on Liu Kang? He's so
I don't know.
Shitty.
Like I liked some of the stuff, like when he hits Kano with the fireball. I think that's when I wrote the note that Liu Kang's kind of badass so far. Yeah.
But you don't get that. And maybe it is the intention of like, Liu Kang is one of those ones where he was kind of a sleeper, I guess. Like,
maybe, but even like his character, he didn't seem any. I have a specific way of imagining Liu Kang that seems pretty consistent across the games, the older movies, and like books and stuff. This one felt like somebody who heard stories about Liu Kang, but got them all wrong.
He knows how to bicycle kick? All right, let's get a 12-year-old boy to play him. Let's go.
That's one of my notes, and it's in all caps, and it is, why does Liu Kang have to be so goddamn young?
I don't understand it, because I feel like you're right. And all right, maybe like we haven't gotten to the actual tournament yet. Like we have actually. We're 9 tournaments deep that they win their 10th. So, and I don't know how deeply involved Liu Kang was prior to that. I think this is all the new batch. But like Liu Kang's weathered in the games. He's older, he's wiser, he's been around.
Yeah, he's been through some shit.
Yeah, in this he's like fresh off the fucking presses. Like what is going on with that?
He fucking looks fresh off the presses. This body is insane.
Mm-hmm.
I have never been more impressed and disgusted with a physique over the course of about 25 frames.
He was fucking toned as shit. His baby face completely took me out of the whole thing. I don't know. Like, it really fucked me up.
Like, I'm looking at him, and then I'm thinking of Robin Shou, the guy who played Liu Kang in the first 2 movies.
Yeah, yep.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, his hair is perfect. Like, he's got the perfect physique. He looks the part. He acts the part. And then we get this guy who looks like an action figure. And just, I don't know, dude. Some of his muscle grouping and some of his tone just kind of freaked me out a little bit. And his acting too. Not even touching it. Like, I couldn't tell if he was overacting or underacting.
See,
there was
that-
no middle ground.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. So, like, and I get it, dude. You're in the temple, all this shit. But, like, Kung Lao and Raiden are there, too, and they don't seem so fucking, like... and I'm probably... this will probably be the last instance of the show ever. But it was weeby. Like... he seemed like it's almost like whenever you pick it up and you like try to seem more sophisticated than what you are. Like it was weird.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have
He
to.
had
He was so formal with everything. I'm like, why, dude? Nobody else is that formal with the shit.
he had like that whole like great mysterious prophet kind of thing, and it's like, you're Liu Kang, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I was weird, dude. The whole direction they took with Liu Kang, like, there's moments in the movie where you're like, all right, Liu Kang's pretty fucking badass, but any of the dialogue, anytime outside of fighting, anything like that, you're like, oh, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, just fucking
the
be
director.
quiet.
The director should have just looked at him and said, you know what, just sit there, look hot, kick ass, throw fireballs, but don't say anything.
Yeah.
That'll just ruin the magic.
Yeah, we're just gonna make Raiden teach everything. You're just gonna fucking sit in the corner and be like, yeah, I taught him. And then whenever you fight, it's all gonna come out.
Yeah. Like, I appreciated his fighting, his fight scenes, the talking, not so much.
No. And it was also weird for me because I feel like, Kung Lao, like, I feel like they were making Kung Lao like the penultimate. Like, you are
Kung
second
Lao
to
was
Raiden.
fucking amazing.
And
yeah, Kung Lao was amazing.
He was great. Like, he was a badass. Like, his fighting style was awesome. What they did with the fucking hat, like, I loved, because once again, I'm a main, so I cuck for Kung.
Of course.
But, like, the hat, like, everything they did with the hat, I loved. I loved the way that they used his power. I loved the way that his attitude was. I loved all of that shit. It was great for me to like see Kung Lao be that person and carry on through the movie.
Yeah. I liked his backstory in this one too, how he's, like the 10th generation and he's this badass that's just destined to win Mortal Kombat, and and I love that he's got that very like kind of reserved nature, but he's still willing to have fun and have the camaraderie with the other combatants that are on his side, and he's cool with it. He's not afraid to crack jokes or just have kind of a good time. And then there's that little sliver of arrogance when Kano starts talking shit to him. And he just takes the fucking egg roll and it's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah. And I get what you were trying to pull Kano's Arcana from him. I get it. I understand, but I appreciate it every second. Like, it's basically just Kung Lao talking shit the entire time. Fucking Kano getting pissed, and then you have little squeamy, little dweeby fucking Kung Lao or fucking Liu Kang over in the corner, like, yeah, what he said. Like, shut the fuck up, get out of here. Yeah, that goes for 2 times, pussy. Like, no, fucking little bitch. Shut up with your fireballs.
It's like, Liu Kang, shut up, sit down and eat your egg roll before you get hurt by the egg roll, please.
Yeah.
You're going to drop it on your foot and get a hamstring.
Hopefully that roll doesn't have too much spring or you're fucked, pussy.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
dude. But yeah, as far as Kung Lao goes, one of my notes about his entrance when he teleports in, all it is Kung Lao came in like a boss.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, bro, that teleport and the spin, just oh my god.
Yep, they definitely did that. And I will say that there was a lot of fan service as far as Kung Lao goes, like, because it was one of those things you didn't have that section of time where, okay, Kung Lao doesn't have his Arcana yet. Like, you show up and Kung Lao's already fucking a hat-flinging badass, and you're like, all right, dude. Like, that's great. And then, like, the fight whenever Shao Kahn and all them come up and he uses the hat spin in the dirt. It's like one of my fucking... it was just great. It was fucking great. And then for him to stand up and say flawless victory, like, you really just drilled that entire... Oh, dude, it was... I came. I'm pretty sure I came whenever that happened. Like, I'm pretty sure I, like, rolled over and went to sleep after and finished the movie later. Like, I was like, all right, I'm fucking done. Thank God.
I think most of the people that watch this movie might have done the same thing without the coming.
I'm just a little bit extra, okay?
Hey, I'm just saying.
Like I said
I was
earlier,
worried I'd fall asleep.
I scroll Pornhub while I'm watching movies, so what a little disclaimer, that is not true. That is not true.
No. But as far as that whole grouping of scenes goes, when like when they're trying to pull the Arcanas out of, Sonya, or not Sonya, but Cole.
Yeah.
I wanted to call him Jake. I can't even remember his fucking name.
Kano.
Yeah. Kano's like, yeah, let's have a little yapping and more fighting. And I'm just kind of like, God, yes, please. At that point, it was like, we've gone far too long without a fight in a Mortal Kombat movie, please.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. I guess the way that they pulled his Arcana out of him was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just because of who he was fighting.
Yeah.
Like, you see those fucking forearms roll out, you're like, God damn it, yes. But that could have happened much earlier, in my opinion, because I build a connection with every single, and maybe it's because I watched played the games, but my connections with everyone else outside of him were stronger. So if you would have given me more time to relate to somebody who's actually not been in the universe, I probably would have cared more about his shit.
Yeah. Oh man, this poor movie. We're like not even.
I know, bro. I'm trying to think like,
We're not
jump over shit, but like this is definitely the one.
Like I'm just going by my notes, and it would have been like live tweeting. I have the note that like Lou's background was pretty good. Like it was interesting to have a different background for him like that, but that it's spelled out of character for him.
Yeah.
Like this feels like it's definitely a reboot of the mythos of Mortal Kombat and the canon.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. You
which is
basically
fine. There's
set it
nothing
back to
wrong
zero.
with that.
Yeah.
The note right after that is Kano angry is hilarious.
He's basically the movie version of me, bro. That's just, you think he's funny when he's mad. That's it.
It's true. Oh yeah. I want you to know, I have this in the notes that this was right after the scene where Kano gets his Arcana. My note says, I'm predicting sending Cole back when Raiden wants to send him back to his family because he's like, yeah, whatever, you're wasting my time.
Yep.
My prediction was that going back would cause Sub-Zero to hunt him and his family, and he finds his Arcana when they're attacked.
So yeah, you called it. I didn't really call it, but I think more because I was disinterested in what was going to happen with him. But yeah, you're right. It became pretty clear relatively quickly. Yeah.
It's just one of those things where as soon as he sent him back and Cole's like, yeah, I guess I'm going to go. I guess I'm going to drop out. It's like, don't fucking waste my time. And I was wrong about it being Sub-Zero, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to jump into that now because that one's a couple lines down. Because the next note is I like Cabal.
Dude, Cabal was fucking awesome. They did such a good job with Cabal, man.
Oh my God, they did.
They couldn't have, like, I looked up the dude who played Cabal just to see, like, who it was because I liked the way that he presented the character and everything that he does. Like, the person they have listed in the credits for Cabal is just the stunt guy. Like, that's just what he does.
Isn't that everybody in this movie though?
Pretty much. And I know a stunt guy personally. It's weird fucking seeing him in movies and stuff like that. Because I'm like, dude, I just saw him like Tuesday. Like, it's weird seeing him in shit. But it's cool to see like that he did that whole thing, and it honestly, I don't know if they used his voice or what, but like the casting for him, whoever the voice was perfect. The way they designed him was perfect. Oh, yeah. Like everything about Cabal was done down to a T perfectly, in my opinion.
Absolutely, I agree. Like from his swords to the purple glow when he dashes, like it was perfect. Like I'm not even much of a Cabal fan in the games, but in this movie, he was absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, you make very good points with that. I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that they did better in that entire movie.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. The next note after that, My notes are fantastic. The next one after I like Cabal is Cole's Arcana is probably the power of fucking friendship or some shit.
Rainbows and purples coming in hot, motherfucker. And with this bracelet, I attack thee. What?
Yeah.
Fucking friendship bracelet out of here, you fucking puss. Shut up.
Dude, it is. Not My Little Combat. Well, the thing is, there are.
Oh, Ring, that was great.
Oh my god. Just let it be known, Rambo has the best friendship in the history of Mortal Kombat, and that's all there is to it. He does.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
I
see, and the next note line doesn't even stand up to it. It's just Goro's going after Cole. Really?
I mean, it was weird. Like, why the fuck did they just send Goro after? Like, wouldn't you send Goro after somebody that actually matters? I guess
You
maybe
would think.
because of the Hanzo bloodline, like you're really worried about it. But like,
Yeah.
why Sub-Zero was just like, all right, I froze his family. I guess my job here is done. Like, he's been so adamant about wiping the bloodline out. Why didn't he fucking wait for Cole to show up then?
Yeah.
Right, it was weird. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was strange. And the next one is he really gonna kill Goro by dropping a barn on him? Like, what the fuck?
All right. I mean, he was a little bitch boy at that point. What else is he gonna do? He grabbed a fucking crowbar, bro. He ran in. There is Goro, four-armed fucking gargantuan skyscraper outside, and this motherfucker basically grabbed a noodle. Like, what are you gonna do?
He decides to unleash his inner Gordon Freeman.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
Fucking Half-Life is suitable for that because that's about all you got left in you, motherfucker. Why are you grabbing a crowbar? Get the fuck out of here.
Like, and he didn't even beat Goro by himself.
No.
And like the next couple ones or lines are attacking them. It's like, are they really going to hit Goro with a truck? Yep. I literally didn't even get to finish typing it.
Well, that was so fucking stupid. The only thing that makes sense of that, and I understand Cole's getting his dick kicked in, and you need some way for like
he got fucked up.
they need to be in threat because that's very clearly how you're going to get Cole to get his Arcana. But drive the fuck away. Drive the fuck away.
Yeah.
You're worried, like his daughter is more important to him. Get the fuck out of there. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The next one as well. I predicted Cole's Arcana perfectly. It's like he turned into a Warframe.
Dude, all right, so like whenever I saw his bracelet start going crazy, I was like, all right, this is about to be the Scorpion. Like,
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, oh shit, this is it.
Yep, and then that bracelet's gonna like turn into the chain, and then that's gonna be the moment that like, okay, he finally inherited Scorpion's powers, and then he gets this
That would've been
fucking.
sick.
He looks like he's. I honestly don't even know what to compare it to. Like,
I think it's supposed to look like in the beginning when his daughter was wrapping his hands for the fight. I think that's what that's supposed to symbolize, is like his whole body's wrapped in that. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's a possibility. It was
It's
a little
dumb, but-
yeah. I wasn't like whenever he like his chest is wrapped. I was like, oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't
very
anything
underwhelmed.
to yeah. It was a very like okay. This fucker's power is a jacket. Like that's cool, dude. Like you got some gold.
Hey, bro,
you're rich now. You got a gold jacket. Like what the fuck?
Hey, bro, you're getting your ass kicked here. Take my flight jacket. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Keep
and
you
then
warm while you're out on the street.
Yeah, and then he pulls out two nubbins. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude gonna do with two sticks? The fuck is the point of it? The fucker could have rolled into the woods around the house and been like, all right, yep, I found two branches. Let's go to town, bitch. Like, what the fuck out of here? Fucking.
That was the next one, was
Goro, get
Tonfas?
ready. Fucking garbage.
And the next couple of notes are just from the rest of that fight scene of what even is this movie right now? Holy shit, Cole won a fight. And of course, the fight he wins is against Goro?
Yeah,
Come on.
Like he went from
Get
fucking
outta here.
bitch
He doesn't
boy-
deserve that.
Yeah, no. It was that whole scene, I get you're trying to establish his character. I understand that from like, as a lore perspective, but like,
See, money.
it was just fucking stupid. Like the whole thing to me was just dumb. I like waited for him to be so much more than what he was, but then he just turned out to be an MMA fighter with like some armor that really actually was what fucks people up. Like,
Yeah.
he kind of punches him a few times and then gets his ass beat and then is able to exert a bunch of power. That's all it came down to.
Yeah, I was very underwhelmed by Cole's entire thing.
Like, imagine that in the game. Your goal is to get your ass beat for half your health bar and then you're strong. Like, what?
There are some that work like that. There
yeah.
Ghetto Mark of the Wolves works like that. You
Yeah.
can designate a chunk of your health bar and you get really powerful during it.
Yeah.
But in this sense, it's really dumb. The next one was Jack's arms look sick as fuck, which I think was when his Arcana finally popped off and his little twigs turned into actual hands.
Yep, it was when
which I got
the whole
him and,
Sonya love thing. Yep.
Oh yeah, having to save Sonya.
Yep.
Yeah. And I got my Jax fan service out of his fight with Renko, where he just beats the shit out of him and then gives him the fucking clap.
Dude, the clap was awesome. I will say the clap was one of my favorite parts of the entire movie. Whenever he hauled back, I was like, I'm not even a super like I like Jax. I enjoy him. Whenever he hauled back, I was like, all right, dude. All right, we're there. This is about time. Which his arms after the fact looked great. Like, they did a really good job, like, making him, like, whenever his arms transformed, you're like, fuck, yeah, dude, this is what I was waiting for.
That's what I was waiting for. And then the line, these motherfuckers really work. It's like, yes, oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I did appreciate that part of Jax. That was a great change.
Bro, that was a beautiful.
I use protection so you don't get the clap when you get fucked. That's a very good.
Yes. Bro, and the way he just called out Renko, he's like, give me Renko.
Yeah, we got
the thing about Renko. Yeah. And I think in the old canon, like Renko winds up turning into Shao Kahn or something. It's like you just fucking beat his ass with 3 punches and a fucking clap.
So I won't lie. As somebody who's not super attached to the games, I wasn't sure of who Renko was. Because honestly, probably the deepest I dove, like all the other games I've played exhibition style, the deepest I dove into the campaign was 11. Even though I love the games forever, I never played them for their story. I never really followed the story. Any of the super story-driven games I never into. So I wasn't sure who Renko was whenever it first went down. So that was definitely, I feel like almost like, even though I'm familiar with the games, he was kind of like a deep cut. And I don't know how true that is, because I could be totally wrong.
I don't know. He just seemed like kind of an afterthought in this movie, honestly. But I skipped over one of my note lines, and it's, oh damn, I can't believe they did Kung Lao like that.
Dude, it was so
I didn't know
if
I don't know if we want to open up that wound for you.
Dude, and like out of all that, like do it to and like and I mean
it could have been anybody else.
Yeah, and
anybody.
I get you really like as far as Kung Lao goes, as far as the story's concerned, he probably doesn't have the greatest arc because like
he's already
whenever
at the top.
Whenever you look at Liu
Where's he
Kang,
got
Liu
to go?
Kang still has like Liu Kang needed that thing that was going to drive him over the edge because he was still kind of like he had power, but he wasn't anything like Liu Kang, the master of his art is. You're obviously not going to fuck with Raiden. I think at that point, Sonya didn't have her Arcana yet, or she didn't even have her tattoo yet.
Not at that point, no.
Cole didn't have his Arcana yet, and Kano was bad. So out of all of the people that were going to be in the story arc, he was the least useful for the rest of the movies. Because he was already basically, like you said, top tier. He was at the apex of what he was able to do. It still really sucked because you did get to watch him fuck shit up a little bit, but with him being your main, you're like, oh, fuck me, dude. He looks like me playing.
Yeah.
Get your fucking shit together, bro. Fucking mash a button. Do something, you fucking idiot. It was me playing. Like, if that would have been the point where I smashed my controller. That's what that movie, in the movie, that's when my controller would have been in pieces.
Yeah. I and you know that girl with the wings that I have no fucking clue who she was supposed to be.
So I'm glad that's not
Like,
just me. I had no idea.
No, bro, I'm looking at her
was.
like, yeah, I'm looking at her like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Who did they just pull you out of Outworld? Are you like an extra? Like, who are you? What are you doing here? What?
Are you just there
Like-
for him to use the spinning hat? Like, did they just bring you in to be like, we need a way for him to fuck somebody up that has a lot of momentum? Give somebody
Yep.
wings. Like, that was like,
I
didn't
literally
know
have
she
no
was.
clue who she is.
Which I'm gonna
Yeah,
look at
no-
I'm
no
gonna look at the
fucking clue.
credits now to see if I can figure out who that was, because I don't know.
My next one was so Cole is just good guy Cabal. I mean, his Tompas get the little blades on him, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay. I mean, that was after seeing him literally gut Goro,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool. But I still can't believe they did Goro dirty like that. That was some
So
dumb shit.
Natara is who that girl was. So
Who the fuck is Natara?
she made her debut in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which is
Oh,
probably
that's why I don't know who she
nobody
is.
knows who the fuck she is.
Yeah, I didn't play any of those ones.
What? That's a weird one. Why the fuck are you pulling her in? Out of all the characters that
Probably
you could have.
representation,
Yeah.
I guess. The only thing you can remember was the character created fighters from Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, there would, but like you could have done. I mean, there's so many other characters you could have had been at his side for that whole thing. Maybe it's so. Maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe you just wanted somebody that was there that Kung Lao could cut in half, so you didn't affect the rest of what you're planning to do with the sequel.
Like the more important character.
Yes, exactly. Like maybe you considered Kung Lao and what's her name again? Like, and Natara expendable.
Natara.
Like, we just need to get rid of Kung Lao and this fucking winged bitch from a game that nobody cared about.
It's true though.
Yep.
We
yeah. Goro, I wish but you're right. The whole Goro thing, like, why get rid of him so quick?
yeah,
Like,
like
he
what
could
the
be
fuck?
a real
Like,
fucking threat. Like, maybe you were trying to showcase Cole's power, but like Goro's huge in the fucking series.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that they killed him off to make room for Kentaro in the next one.
Okay.
But still, you know,
Yeah.
Goro's Goro, man.
Yeah, everybody knows. Even if you don't know anything about Mortal Kombat, you know that there's a dude with 4 arms. Like, you know him.
And a loincloth. Oh my god. My next one I think was one that was building up through the course of this movie. And it was, why is Sub-Zero considered such a badass? Like, he's literally not.
Yeah.
There is no purpose, no rhyme, no reason for Sub-Zero to be considered the absolute fucking badass that he was in this movie. None.
Nobody fucked with him. Like, he could do whatever he wanted to do. Like, even Shao Kahn was like, well, he's kind of a loose cannon. Like, Shao Kahn, like, that whole thing, like, Sub-Zero was almost like the buddy cop film where, like, give me your gun and badge. I don't listen to any fucking rules. Like, that was Sub-Zero. Like, why, dude?
It's like, I love Sub-Zero. I really do. But at the same time, it's like, never once has he been, like, this close to what I would consider in the Mortal Kombat universe, like, God tier.
Yeah, and wasn't he, for a period of time, and it's almost like the color scheme, wasn't he the good one for a period of time? Like,
yeah, the way the lore for the way it worked in the first couple games was similar to what happened in the movie, is that Bihan went and, like, murdered Scorpion and his family, and when Scorpion came back from hell, he murdered Bihan. Bihan eventually turns into Noob Sabat. Noob Sabat. And then in Mortal Kombat 3, you find out that the Sub-Zero there is actually Bihan's younger brother, which is very strange because he's a white guy.
Okay, yeah. Right.
And then from then on, you have that kind of lore separation of Bihan and whatever the fuck his brother's name is that became Sub-Zero.
And it is hard whenever you run these stories out over the length of time that like these stories have been run out. Like you kind of have to go different directions with them. But like I know my immediate thing is that you could immediately tell that Bihan was bad, and that Sub-Zero that Hanzo was good, and then and I know like in the most, once again, it's probably the most time that I ever spent like the version of Scorpion where he was down in hell plotting his revenge was the bad one, and then he came back and he decided to be good. Like, but in my mind, Sub-Zero was always kind of the the good guy. Yeah, like, and they kind of threw me off, so I wasn't sure. And I clearly you know more about the series than I do. I wasn't sure if I was missing something there.
No, I mean for the actual like true roots of the series, it's spot on.
Yeah,
where we are with it right now.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, 30th anniversary next year.
I'll have to study up. Yeah, 30th. Holy shit, man. Holy
I
shit.
know, right?
Oh man.
We're actually coming up to the end of close to the end of my notes.
Okay.
I like this one. Renko's face in any given scene sums up this movie perfectly. Because he always had that. Huh?
Yeah. What is happening? What is going on? I want to smash things. Let me smash things. That's all I care about.
Which kind of sucks because I don't remember Renko from in any of the games being like. He felt like he was bordering on comic relief in this one.
Yeah.
Like if there had been a comic relief character, it would have been him.
Yeah, like
I wouldn't say Kano was comic relief. Kano was too badass to be comic relief. But I feel like if he had any lines that weren't, he would have been the comic relief. With the MGS question marks over his head. Yeah.
What was that noise? Actually, been more. What was that noise? What? Like, shut up! Fucking get out.
Like
of here.
I don't remember him being like a fucking moron in any of the games. If I remember anything right, like he was actually really, really fucking badass in the games. Like really smart.
I see, and
that's like he wound up becoming Shao Kahn.
I almost appreciate the fact that I didn't really realize what his
it's probably for the
role
best.
was. Yeah, because basically he was just like, I was like, who's the fuck's this idiot? Like, okay, all right, cool, all right. Okay,
Nobody.
Jax fucked
Don't
him up.
worry
All
about
right,
it.
Jax fucked him up in a cool way. All right, I'm cool with it.
Oh yeah.
But then even
and then
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. My next one moves on to a different scene. So go ahead.
Mine's kind of doing the same thing.
Oh okay. Nah, my next one was I can't believe Melina got bopped like that. That was kind of lame.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like, okay, so dude, Cole takes out Goro. Why is he getting his ass kicked so fucking hard? Like he's the only one that needed a partner. Like he's the only one. Like he sends everybody else off on their own. He's like, all right, Jax, you're gonna go on your own. Sonya, you're gonna go fuck up Kano. Liu Kang, how about you come with me? I'm a little scared. Like why, bro?
Because together they make one competent fighter.
Yeah, like you both kind of bitch made yourself. Like, all right, like you go off, you fight Melina, and like
Sonya saves the day, bro.
Saves the fucking day. Like, okay, I guess you need a way to show that she got her. Like, if there's so if Cole kills Melina and Liu Kang kills Cabal, like, all right, there's not really any way for us to be like, all right, here's your cool power, but like.
Yeah.
Cole's getting his fucking dick kicked in. What? Like, you're supposed to be the dude. Like, you're supposed to be the guy. Yeah. Like, get the fuck out of here, you little bitch. Like, once again, it detracted me even more from the fact that, like, Cole's supposed to be the guy I'm rooting for. I'm like, all right, you little puss.
Yeah. I couldn't give a shit less about him.
Yeah. Like, you basically took the two characters that I really cared less about. And I cared a little bit more about Liu Kang after his, like, backstory. Like, I was a nobody. Like...
Yeah, I like parts of his backstory. Absolutely. Yeah.
And like he does handle himself. He ends up taking care of the whole Cabal situation, and his fucking
in
dragon,
a spectacular fashion.
His dragon was so on point. Like whenever the dragon showed up, I was like,
awesome.
dude, this is fucking great. This is great. Meanwhile, main character over there getting his fucking teeth kicked in, Sonya Blade, who just figured out. Not even. It took him like 7 months to figure his shit out. Sonya Blade wins one fight. She's like, oh, hey, look at these. Like, what the fuck? Whatever.
Dude,
Okay.
that was one of the things I was going to touch on. It's like, what did Sonya do to, where did she get, how did she unlock her Arcana? She literally just got it from Kano 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
What did she do? Step through a portal and that was what unlocked it?
Yeah. Like, she
What
gets
the
her
fuck
tattoo,
is
she's
this?
like, oh, this is pretty fucking cool. Guess I have these now. Like, what,
Yeah.
dude? And whatever. Okay.
Like, I like that, you know, of course she's got her signature rings, but at the same time, it's like, never once in any of the games has she put a hole through somebody with those fucking things.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And then on top of that, like, it almost makes her seem way more badass than 95% of the character. Like your power is awesome.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You literally rolled in, fucked somebody up 5 minutes after you got your tattoo. Like, you are.
And that was before she hit the ground.
Monster. Yeah, you're a fucking monster, which is great. Sonya Blade is. I can't even say, because I fucking hated her in MK, the new one. Like, I think she's a great character. I think, like, the history that she had, and I think her building with Jax was really cool. But, like, you didn't have to make her so fucking bad. Like, she's bad. She's more badass than everybody so far in a matter of 5 minutes.
She handled her shit.
Yeah, you're even handling your shit without your Arcana. You killed an Arcana user with a fucking throwing knife. Like, you're already a fucking tank, and then you just make her even tankier. Like, what, dude?
That's it. Sonya's the new main character.
Yeah, just
forget
about
Cole. Fuck him.
Cole. Fucking he can hang
Cole
out with his
who?
family. Sonya Blade's the main.
Yeah, let him retire. The next one was Scorpion's intro was spot on.
Yes.
Loved his intro.
Yeah. When they finally brought him into the movie, awesome. Like, that could have been.
Yeah.
They could have had 45 minutes of everything else, and then 45 minutes of Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting, and I would have been happy with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I loved his costume design, the samurai gear, which makes zero fucking sense because he's a ninja, and they say it. It's like, yes, Hanzo, one of the best ninja to ever walk the earth. Why the fuck is he wearing samurai gear?
Yeah. And
what?
The contrast between him and Sub-Zero was like, because it always has been that way. Like, Scorpion and Sub-Zero were the same way. Like, I get it. Wasn't Reptile and all them, like, also mask wearers for a period of time, like when they were first revealed? I almost kind of wish.
I mean, they were just a palette swap.
Yeah, like that's exactly what it was. And I still remember Reptile. That's why it threw me off that Reptile was who Reptile was in this.
Yeah.
But I
like that they expand on the species for Reptile, though. That was cool.
Yeah. But I do agree. His intro was phenomenal. And, like, you know at that point that it's coming. You know, because the trailer kind of ruined it for you, and you expected him to be in all the rest of the movie. But in that moment, I got excited because I know, like, right now is whenever Scorpion's coming in. Like, I know this is going to happen.
Yeah.
What's up, Tatsov?
Hey, Tatsov. And which that rolls into the next note, which I think is appropriate. But it was just, okay, we peeked at Cole and Scorpion versus Sub-Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was just so awesome.
Yep.
And I love that during that whole fight, like, Cole's trying to help, he's trying to help Scorpion fight the skyscraper of neck that is Sub-Zero, while also trying to punch his family out of the ice cubes.
Old tree trunk over there, fucking.
He's got Corpse Grinder looking at him going, "Damn, that guy's got a big neck."
Fucking Adam's apple's a boulder, motherfucker. Get that shit under control.
You better hide before Redfield comes.
Nah, I did enjoy the entire fight. The get over here was obviously, I think, what 95% of the people were waiting for, because I feel like, as a whole, the Mortal Kombat series has always kind of been like Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. Like, I feel like anybody who's ever played it casually, like, if you play against somebody who's like, well, I haven't played Mortal Kombat in years, they're going Scorpion or Sub-Zero. I feel like that's the way it's been.
Oh, yeah.
So it was cool for it to be like, this is the final showdown of them. I wish that it wouldn't have been. It was almost a little bit lopsided in Scorpion's favor. I don't even know if I can say that. it felt maybe because they were like, well, fuck, our movie's already an hour and 25 minutes long. Like, this is going to be quick. We got some story to fill after the fact. I wish the fight would have been a little bit more even. But I guess if if you're Scorpion and you've been harboring this shit for thousands of years, you're probably going to come up ready to fuck shit up.
Oh yeah, no doubt, absolutely. He was absolutely the pinnacle for me of the movie. And the next one's like, I get why he left, but I wish he could have been in the movie more. Yeah. Which is pretty much us on repeat for this whole fucking time talking about it.
Well, that's what I noticed a few minutes ago, and I didn't say it because we weren't to that point yet. The fucking trailer, like the poster that I have up on screen, if I put it down, above the release date, it says "Get Over Here." So, like, this whole poster makes it seem like he is the majority of the fucking movie. Like, this whole Sub-Zero Mortal Kombat, like, Sub-Zero Scorpion thing is going to be like Mortal Kombat movie, but no, it was the last 10 minutes, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's I think they kind of dropped the ball on that for as much as they wanted to focus on his bloodline, his lineage, and this and that, and it's like, can't we just have him?
Yeah. Yeah, for real. And like, it's a bummer because like the way it seemed is like he's done. Like that, you're not going to be in the future movies. You basically like, all right, take care of my bloodline. See you later. So now, what's your next poster going to be? Like, it's just going to be Cole with his
Cole and Sub-Zero.
Like, what the fuck, bro?
Dude, and the thing that gets me is like he's still speaking Japanese, which I understand. I get that. It's like you're speaking Japanese to your descendant who has never once shown any aptitude for sharing the language with you. Do you think he has any fucking clue what you're saying to him? I doubt it. He's an orphan from Chicago.
The fucker understood every word because he listened to everything. He's like, all right, like he's like, watch out, I got this. And he's like, steps aside and just understands. And I'm like, that was something that I actually did pick up on. He's never shown any understanding of it, but in that moment he knew, I guess maybe because there was some type of deep connection. Maybe that's actually his real arcana, is he just knows every language now. Fucker can go anywhere because it's
be more useful.
What he actually got. Like, I don't
Dude, I hope. Like that's the only thing I can think of is that it's that familial bond, or like because there's no other way. I'd just be looking at like you just look at him, it's like there is no fucking way.
Nope, I agree with that. I agree with that.
And from there, it just goes into the poster cameo for Johnny Cage, and I hope that they do it right because Johnny Cage is my boy.
And I feel like he's tough, man. He's tough. He's a tough one to do right, I feel like.
Yeah, you have to find the right balance of the charisma, the machismo, the sarcasm, the audacity, the arrogance. Like you have to find that perfect balance for it. Otherwise it's gonna flounder a little bit. Like Lyndon Ashby, the actor who played him in the first movie, the original one, I loved him as Johnny Cage, just because his delivery of lines and the way he would look at things and respond and act to things, it was just kind of like, okay, yeah, this is Johnny Cage.
Yeah, it was almost like that's what they're gonna like. You almost saved him for the first movie because you were going to let Scorpion run his course, and now we're going to bring back Johnny Cage, who is one of the most beloved characters in the series, like next to Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Like you took Scorpion and Sub-Zero out of the equation, who's next in line to be that fan service?
It's got to be one of the original 7, no joke.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, I did enjoy the movie for what it was. I mean, we can sit here and tear it down, but it's a movie I had fun with, and really, that's my criteria at the end of the day. Did I have fun watching your movie? I did. Yeah. I think that the sequel...
Do we want to talk about the other thing that we saw regarding the movie before we wrap up on it?
Yeah, we probably should.
As far as Johnny Cage goes?
Yeah, I'll let you. You can handle that.
So I don't know if this was confirmed or not, but I think it was last night or the night before. Apparently it was, it's rumored that Ryan Reynolds is going to play Johnny Cage, which to me is like the perfect choice.
Yeah.
because he can tick all the boxes. You know, he's got the right look, he's got the right physique. You know, and it's Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds could act anything. He is so fucking talented.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And like he's played like
Dan.
I feel like you almost have like the Johnny Cage situation taken care of. Like it's almost like the perfect transition from being Deadpool into being Johnny Cage. Like Deadpool is a little bit sillier and goofier overall, but like Johnny Cage has the same type of baseline personality.
Yeah.
So like you've already seen him do it. He's already done so well with it. He seems like a really good fit for it. I don't know if he's as gruff as I feel like Johnny Cage is in my head. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like the machismo, like you said, almost. But I don't know who you would ever get that had all of the things that he needed for that role.
Yeah, I don't think I think Ryan Reynolds would definitely be the best bet.
Which I'd be super, because I fucking love Ryan Reynolds, man.
So do I.
There's
Oh my
not,
God.
I can't, like Green Lantern. People shit on Green Lantern all the time. I fuck with
I
it.
love that movie.
Yep, I do. I do too.
Bro, that movie. I was gonna say that movie is what catapulted me into being a Green Lantern super fan. And you should see the looks I get at comic shops when I tell people that. They look like they've just been kicked in the asshole with steel-toed boots. It's like, yeah, that movie actually did something good, because I went back and I read some of the Golden Age comics, because some of those are hard reads. But then I went into Silver Age, like back in '63, I think, when it started, and went all the way up until the most recent reboot. And I mean, that's like 40 something years of Green Lantern comics, and I read the spin-offs and the side books and everything.
Yep.
And it's all because of the movie.
Dude, I think I can't think of really anything. Like, what the fuck was the one I watched with him in where he's like explaining all of his girlfriends to his daughter? And even in that, I was like, dude, I fucking love Ryan Reynolds. Like, fucking, I do. I don't know. And then it just leads me to think of like, what was the the one where he was the college guy that was like the top partier.
Was that the movie Waiting? The restaurant movie?
Waiting was fucking awesome. Waiting was awesome.
Waiting was awesome.
Van Wilder. Yes, it was Van Wilder, which is based on
thank you, Dan.
A comedian's life. The machine.
Oh my God.
Bert Kreischer. So Van Wilder was actually, the story was based on Bert Kreischer, who is a comedian who's actually catapulting really late in his career. But
Blade Trinity,
Blade Trinity was, and I fucking, when he called her a thunder cunt in Blade, that might be like, I don't remember how old I was when I watched Blade, but thunder cunt was my immediately favorite thing to call anybody ever. Like, you fucking thunder. I was like in school, like thunder cunt. Like, oh, okay, little Derek. All right, brother.
We're gonna have to bring that one back into.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. As far as WB being able to afford him, if they use any of the revenue from the games for, putting it towards the movie, they might be able to afford him.
Yeah, that would. I mean, they also have a lot of like the Batman shit. Like, I'm sure they could find a way.
Oh yeah, they'll find a way.
But I mean, overall, I do think that he is. I think he is probably the best option for casting for him. It would be really fun to see what he does with it. I hope that he's in more than the last 30 seconds of the movie.
Yeah.
I hope that I don't have to watch Cole like basically be a bitch the entire time. Next time, I hope that he works on some shit. And what I really hope for is that we actually get to watch Mortal Kombat. I hope that it's the actual tournament,
like going to the island with the tournament and everything.
Like,
that would be awesome.
I get that you were trying to set up the backstory where, like, if Outworld wins the 10th time, Earth is lost. I get that, but if I'm watching Mortal Kombat, I want to see Mortal Kombat. Which you do technically see Mortal Kombat, but I want to see the tournament. Highness Pikachu. Oh, that's right, he did play Detective Pikachu. Which I've never seen.
He did.
I never
I need
got
to
watch
see
it.
that.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a
Should
good
that
watch.
Should that be one of our movies for next week?
I mean, I could do it if that's what we.
I'm down.
We
dude.
could dive into that.
I wanted to see it. I want to. It's got my boy Bulbasaur.
I'm gonna
Grass
try.
type for life.
I'm gonna try and watch your boy Tom Clancy's movie too.
Oh, that's right, with Anthony Mackie.
See, you keep saying Anthony Mackie. It's not Anthony Mackie.
I thought it was
No,
Anthony Mackie.
It's Michael B. Jordan.
Is it Michael Jordan?
Yeah,
Oh.
dude. He
Okay.
looks badass in it. Like he looks like, and I love his acting as a whole. I think he's going to be really good for that movie. And all of the previews I've seen since I've seen the previews, like I couldn't wait for it to come out. And like actually, my chick couldn't wait for it to come out either, which says something.
Oh, nice.
Probably because of Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah.
if we're being honest. But
It's all
yeah,
right.
I think that'll be our assignment. We'll do Detective Pikachu and maybe the Tom Clancy movie.
Yeah, dude, I actually like when I'm at work and I'm driving. If I usually have sometimes like 10 to 20 minute drives between stops.
Yeah.
I'll have YouTube on, and every once in a while, of course, on mobile, you have the ads pop up, and all I heard was. I heard like da 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 talking and shit, and then I heard Tom Clancy's, and I immediately started paying attention. It was like, wait a minute, what were you saying?
As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, Vox is gonna love this shit. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, funny there was no tournament and everyone just started fucking. Yep, yeah, and I get it. Like, you're trying to portray Outworld as being these savages, which you did. But like they kept talking about the tournament, and you're like, all right, well, maybe fuck up a couple people, but let's see a tournament, like win the tournament. What's gonna happen at the 10th tournament? Because Outworld, I'm sure, can gather another group of participants. And,
Oh, dude, they have so much to pull from.
Yeah. So, and like you're now just getting Johnny Cage, so you're gonna have what? You have Liu Kang, you have Cole, you have Johnny Cage, you have Sonya, you have Jax, and you have Raiden. So you have 6 total fighters.
Yeah. And for the other side, they've got guys they can pull from like Baraka.
Yeah.
There's so many characters. Oh my god.
Just Aloha.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and the thing about those
love
characters is
Dan.
they're already ready to fuck shit up. Like, we don't have to train any of them. Like, Baraka is ready to fucking bite your face off. Like,
That's true, Sparrow. It did.
Yeah.
It did. It broke the prophecy. The thing I'm curious to see is, like, I don't remember what the I think it was like the fast and loose rules was to explain that everybody was still alive in Mortal Kombat 2 was like they were brought back to life because they were defenders of the realm. Like, if Liu Kang or Johnny Cage or somebody canonically died in the first game, which I don't think anybody did, but they would like they were just magicked back to life with a little hand wave for the second tournament, which I'm curious to see how that works.
yeah, I'm curious too, because Ring did make a good point earlier. If there's no consequences, then what really is the point? I guess. Dude, so I'm not gonna ruin anything for you, Hurry. Don't get too excited.
We already beat that horse. to
Yeah,
death.
we beat it pretty dead. I watched it on HBO Max, which I love, by the way. And I feel bad that the theater industry is kind of crumbling, but I haven't been to a movie theater in a while, and I'm glad that I was able to just watch this at home. I'm sure it would have been pretty cool on a big screen, but overall, I'm not too butthurt that I didn't get to watch it on an actual screen. And it sucks that you can't watch it yet, Hurry. I mean, I don't know. I didn't look at theater listings in my area. I'm sure that every theater that could possibly had it. I still don't even know what the rules are on movie theaters or anything like that. So,
Yeah, like what Ring said, they could explain it in some way. Yeah, that's pretty much what they did in the games way back in the day. Was just that, you know what? Yeah, they're alive. They're back.
I don't know if HBO Max is only in the States. See, I'm such a self-absorbed asshole. I don't pay attention to you other fuckers. That's just... I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so... I really honestly don't have any idea. Because I know it took a while for us to even get it. And like, there's like 19 different HBO streaming platforms at this point. And there's only been a couple things of... Like, there's only been a couple things that HBO Max has really been beneficial to me for, is like new release movies like Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh yeah, I still gotta watch that.
But I ended up missing one of something. I missed the fucking Tom and Jerry movie, bro. I was so butthurt about that.
There was a Tom and Jerry.
Fuck yeah, man. And I love Tom and Jerry. I love old school Tom and Jerry. I've watched some of the new Tom and Jerry's, and they suck my asshole.
I haven't seen any of the new ones.
But I think a lot of what HBO Max is doing, I think you're going to see that happen for a long time. I think people are going to be really, really hesitant on getting back to theaters. It was, I think it was animated. I honestly don't know. Godzilla vs. Kong was live action and animated. CGI for the monsters, obviously. Godzilla vs. Kong was great, though. And it's hard to watch now because it's probably off. I think they only leave them on until like their next big movie comes out, and then your only option is to see it in theater, or rent it, or buy it whenever it comes out.
Shit.
But it was a
They
solid
should
movie.
just make it that way now.
Yeah, I mean it was
Just make it live for purchase the day it releases.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, but overall, I mean, HBO Max, if you can get it, that's a place where I watched this. It was available the same day it was in theaters. But they're doing that for a while, if not indefinitely, because HBO's such a fucking monolith.
Yeah, they're a powerhouse.
So I guess before we
final
wrap up,
thoughts on Mortal Kombat then.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I definitely had points where like I was like, okay, this is pretty fucking stupid. I'm not interested. There's definitely things about the movie that I think could have been done differently. But as far as a Mortal Kombat movie goes, I wasn't necessarily disappointed. I had fun with it, which is really all it takes for me to, like I said earlier, oh fuck, he punched him in the face. That's really all it takes to get me my wiener wiggling. So overall, I would recommend it if you can get your hands on it relatively easily. If it's a night out that you just want to go do something, watch it in theaters, I wouldn't shy away from it. I would temper your reaction. I would temper your excitement for what you think was going to be in the trailer and what you think is going to be in a lot of the movie.
Yeah, I would definitely say meet your expectations. I had enough fun with it that I definitely want to see where they go with it. I want to see what happens in the next one. I wasn't over the moon about it, but I'm interested enough that I want to see where they go with the second one. And if the second one is too similar to this one, I'll probably write off the rest of them if they do more. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I can agree.
I had fun with parts of it. I had fun with enough parts of it that I would definitely recommend it too if you're just looking for a kind of turn your brain off, have some fun. Doesn't quite get the recommendation that Nobody did, but yeah, there aren't many movies that would.
Yeah, in comparison, Nobody, if you're going to watch one of these two movies, I definitely recommend watching Nobody for sure. If you have a choice and you're like, fuck, I got shit to do, I got time for one movie, I would recommend Nobody. Just because all around it is, I left that movie much more entertained than I left Mortal Kombat, but I didn't have a problem with Mortal Kombat. It did enough to satiate my once for the movie. I hope the sequel is better.
Yeah. I can definitely echo that 100%.
All right, brother. So I know we went way longer than we anticipated going. It's been kind of scuffed. It's been kind of sloppy. I'm sure in the future we'll have a little bit more, I don't know, practice. Cows. Yeah, and this is the first time that I've done something with somebody else, and I'm sure I talked way too much and I stepped on you a bunch. So we got to work on that. But
perfect.
What are you going to be streaming next?
Next, I'll be finishing up Origami, which will hopefully not take too long. And from there, I'll be moving back into my wonderful land of the goblin, doing sneak and stabbing goblin and things with sticks, Master of Shadows.
When are you planning on going
live? What do you got? Should be tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'm not sure what time.
Okay.
We got a question from the lamb thing.
Yeah, and I'm not done, Mel. I'm going to actually speed run after this. I'm going to try and run through Alien Isolation.
Beautiful.
So
I'll be hanging around to watch that.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so if you're
interested, so if you love my voice and want to love my text, hang out for a little while.
Yeah, so we're definitely Jump King opinions. Oh, fucking Jump King.
Oh, here we go. I feel like I should clear the building first.
Honestly, man, I went into it expecting to play it for 45 minutes, get completely raged the fuck out, and give up. After playing it for a while, I just wanted to get to the top of the tower. I think that overall, it's a really fucking fun game. It's definitely got that addictive thing to it where you want to progress to the next thing. At the same rate, what a sadistic fuck made that game. Like, it is honestly like elephant-sized dicks in your ear. Like, it is relentless. Like, there's no point in time where you're like, all right, I got the hang of this. I don't have to really worry about falling down to the bottom anymore. It is fucking brutal, and you have to go into it expecting it 100% to be brutal. I really want to finish it. Yeah, so there's gonna be a thing. Dan, you love these fucking puns, man. You're fucking
Dan is a fucking legend when it comes to puns.
It's one of the, I mean, he's impressive, man. It is impressive. So yeah, Mel has sent me what is it? I want to be the Boshi? Is that the whole? It wasn't it like I want to be the man, but like I
swear to God, if you say worse.
I mean, it might be worse. I don't know. I know that it's a super hard, ragey game. Boshi.
Oh,
yeah, I want to be the Boshi. It is free, notoriously difficult 2D platform game created by Danish developer Jesper Erlandsen. So it's a notoriously bad game. We're toying with the idea on the channel of me basically becoming speedruns / games that piss you off. And basically I'm just going to leave it up to chat to try and fuck my day up. But
I'm going to send you Pac-Man.
So I'm still trying to figure out where the channel is going to go, but yeah, Melon Feast sent me. I want to be the Boshi. So I have an identity crisis every single time I go live. But yeah, man, we're definitely going to be doing more of this, at least in my opinion. I hope Vox feels the same way.
Oh hell yeah.
We might have it a little bit more organized in the future, and maybe eventually, if it does well, we'll turn it into his whole channel. I got to figure out now, like, if something like, mostly just for the distribution of like viewership and stuff like that. Like, I don't want it to always just stay on my channel. I want Vox to get his recognition too. He's one half of this thing. So we definitely got to figure some things out, but I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Vox, you got anything else to say before we sign off with this?
Ken smells like toes.
Don't turn me on. Don't fucking turn. I got runs to do. I can't be all on my head with a wiener wiggling.
Yeah, fair. All right. I guess on that note, I'm going to hop out of here. I'll be in chat to be in awe of you fucking with that super advanced AI by just spinning your mouse wheel.
Yep, it's going to be great.
And yeah, I'm loving to see the future of this.
All right, perfect, man. Well, I appreciate you wanting to do this with me. It was a really wild, off the wall request that I didn't expect we were going to put together in like a week. But yeah, man, for it being our first outing, I'm pretty happy with where it went. We got a lot of content out of it, so yeah.
Absolutely.
So here's also the other dilemma I have with it being on my channel. Once I switch my scene collection, my OBS might crash. It was doing it earlier when I wasn't streaming, so if you guys want to stick around and see alien runs, if I go down, don't worry, I will be right back. I just have to relaunch OBS. So yeah, I hope to see you guys there, and let's see what happens. All right, brother, I will talk to you later, man.
All right, sir, I'll catch you later.
All right, sounds good. All right, let's see if I can absolutely completely fucking brick this entire stream. We're gonna put some music on for this.